Hello, everyone. On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, we're going to talk about reruns and some more reruns, and then some other stuff, and then probably go back to some reruns. Hi, I'm your repeating host, Omega, and with me is your repeating host, Omega, but also Lucky.
I hope everyone is enjoying Fate Grand Order. A.k.a. everything is coming up a bit extra. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events for both the JP and EM version of the game, so anyone not wanting spoilers should get ready to wave that checkered flag.
Yeah, I think I had an intro yesterday, maybe? I forgot it.
Somewhere.
I had something. I've been doing stuff. Guys, let me tell you, you should tune into What's Up this week, maybe. We've been doing a lot of things down here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But right now, we have stuff to talk about in the Fate.
Actually, hang on. So I'm going to show for a little for What's Up, and hopefully maybe some people will be actually interested. So actually, this week on What's Up, we're probably going to be talking about Ghost of Tsushima, Tales of Christoria, a little bit more about the Final Fantasy VII Remake, along with game design and Mabel Tabletop. So if you are all interested in that, please check into our What's Up and listen to that stuff. It's great fun.
Mm-hmm. And also, we'll probably be discussing the latest Dresden Files book.
I need to put more time into that. I really do. I'm dumb.
You're not. You just need to find time to do stuff. But you were streaming yesterday for like 5 hours.
Yes.
But yeah, we'll talk about lots and lots of things, some of which are actually new and relevant for once.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of things we should talk about, it is time for me to remind you that this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Akko Comics, Architect 10, Blacklist OG, Carlos, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Legendary Boss Hunter, Nestor Flores, Rogue Robin, Shiny P, Some Guy Named Bob, Sotosan 0424, Cybern23, VideoGamer75, and Zach Reed. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, I yawned. Welcome to Sleep Show. Consider supporting us on Patreon. You get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it really helps us out.
Thank you. Oh, wait, hang on. I have to make a reach real quick. Yay.
He got it. He found it. I got it. Okay, alright. Okay. I don't want to throw stones, but are people forgetting to use the little event tab to set their event support setup? Because, like, a decent chunk of the people coming up first on my support setup are not using summer units and not using summer CEs. It's weird.
Well, that's something we can toss in pro tips again, I suppose.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and dive into pro tip land as soon as Omega finds his sound cue.
Senpai, 起きてください.
Yes, correct. It is time for Wake the Fuck Up, Senpai, your regular segment for pro tips. And, well, number one, we'll just go ahead and throw that one out there. Okay, guys, the new quest, the new support setup thing is in. You gotta use it. Unless you don't use it at all. But if you have any support tagged as normal, and one to tag as event, or don't have them tagged, whatever, I don't know how it works, see, you can tell this is completely unplanned. Basically, if you're doing an event quest, it'll default to your event support setup. If you don't have an event support setup, it'll probably pull your regular support setup. So make sure your summer event setup is marked as event, so that people can use them.
It's in the bottom right corner of your support setup. It'll say normal on one in blue, and then event on the second in red.
Like I know
the one that you want as your support setup is the one you gotta tap the red. You boop. You gotta boop it. You gotta boop that snoot.
Yeah, and I know that I talked about this last week with, like, hey, watch out, memorial quests count as events, so I'm sure some people did switch that around, but I know I switched mine back as soon as I could. And my super excellent, very great, that's a lie, summer support setup, we'll talk more about that in a sec. Our second project was something that kind of arose from a conversation we had earlier today in our Discord, which I've written down as something NPC, something algorithm. And I used algorithm for very specific reasons. But basically, a conversation came up because of some stuff we're going to talk about later about how enemies use their cards. And it's important to note that non-servant NPCs don't really have card types. They just have, like, attack and crit attack, basically.
I think they have, like, maybe, like, 3 varying levels of attack. I think they have, like, 2 basic attacks and then their crit attack. I think. Something
like that. And some of them might not. Who knows? Yeah. Like, early FGO could easily be lazy and be like, you have 1 attack animation and 1 critical animation. We're done here. Smoke bomb. So that's an important thing to remember. And then they have their internal skill selection. This means that enemy servants don't have a deck. They just have skills 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4 and 5 if they're asshole boss creatures, which have extra skills. And then they can just pick their Arts, Quick, and Buster attack. They do actually pick those attack types because servants will have buffs that improve them, and they do actually matter, but they don't have a command hand like we do. I believe it is theoretically possible for servants that don't have 3 buster cards to triple buster you. It's entirely possible the game's programmed not to do that, but remember, servants can use their skills like 3 times in a row all the time they want without cooldown, so I'm gonna guess probably not.
Oh man, Freddy Tesla killed me inside. That man did not stop popping guts.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a fucker about that. My thing was that he can double charge off his galvanism. That almost got me a couple times. On an archer. Ooh. Memorial quests are a bitch, babies. But, by the way, there's a comma there. This is a thing to remember about how servants pick them. And just in general, most enemies are random. Some enemies do have AI. This has been noticed, for instance, Kazgil will actually target Jean and Saberfaces first. You know,
a lot of times if an enemy has a gut skill, usually it procs once their HP goes below a certain level.
Right. Lots of servants will know to use their NP steroids on their NP turn before they even use their NP card.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff like that happens. Another common AI thing is that I believe it's been reported that Mordred will attack Saberfaces first. And obviously, you'll see this. You saw this in Lost Belt 2. Jotuns attacked divine targets first. And you've probably seen this because we just did the challenge quest. There are certain challenge quest bosses which will target support casters first. They will cripple Merlin rather than attack your damage dealers. This is why you need to get a Jean in there, because she doesn't count. And she's fucking invincible. Anyway. So that's just our little tip about enemy AI and how they proc stuff. And remember that they don't work entirely like others. And this conversation came up because of a buff we're going to talk about later that is actually quite unique, but it started raising some questions about, how would certain defensive buffs work? Because the food for thought is, enemy servants often have card resistance up, like they can be resistant to certain types of cards. There's no playable side version of that yet, and there might not be if enemies don't actually have normal card types that would only be useful in servant battles, you know. But that's just some food for thought. Let us go ahead and move into our Records from the Throne, by which I mean me, because the only thing I managed to do in the past weekish is protect Amicus' Smile, and that's, by the way, the full. I got her all the way to 90. I really slammed those Assassin and Lancer dailies. And I was quite shocked.
Is also...
Go ahead.
MHX is a bonus servant for
it's true, and she's actually in my Assassin slot now, because the other choice was Summer Skahak. Those are literally the only 2 ones I own. I think I stuck a regular Mordred in my Saber slot just because she's a good Saber to stick there. Because I don't have any Sabers that belong in the bonus slot. Funny how that works. But yeah, I did some work on this, and honestly, I realized that as cool as, the half AP and the double suck were, there were some EXP days that it was like, wow, this just isn't worth it. I probably should have gone a little harder on casters and leveled up Babbage, but whatever. I don't care. You're not going to pick my caster anyway. I only have one of those, too. In fact, speaking of my bitterness, let's just go ahead and roll right into Not All the World's Evil, but damn close. So, guys, I spent the 10 tickets on the summer rerun banner, because I don't have most of those servants. You want to know what servants I got? I got 2 more summer Nobus. You can tell by that more there that I already owned 1 summer Nobu, both with gold sparks on tickets. Thanks, game, I guess? I mean, MP3's not bad, but really? Really? Why are you doing this to me? People are already joking that because Summer Nobu is also up on Mao's banner for Guda Guda 5 or whatever or 4 that I'm gonna somehow max my Summer Nobu now, not on Summer Nobu banner. I'm like, probably right. Yeah, so I was super tilted last night, and am a little sass about it because the banner is being sassy with me. That's just not right, guys. And I know that I could have waited a day, but Summer Nobu was the only one of the 3 I didn't have, so I was like, I'll take a risk, and then the gotcha was like, you fool, you calculated poorly, and I'm like, no, why? My tickets.
The risk I took was calculated, but man, am I bad at math.
I'm not bad at math, though. The gotcha this random number just was like, fuck you. Lady Fortune leaned down from the sky and was like, fuck you in particular. And people have already been like, I don't want a Summer Nobu. I'm like, you can take them. I've got 2 extras. But here we are. It's another summer. It wouldn't be a summer if Omega didn't get sassed. I can't. I got like 300, almost 350 quartz. I will have 350 by the time Summer 3 actually starts. We're just gonna see how that one goes. Just gonna see what happens.
No. Oh no.
Let's just gotta do some stuffs.
Well, I didn't necessarily
great-
write this for all the world's
It's a
evil,
great
but
despair quote we got here.
I gotta pull it up. So it's not necessarily all the world's evil, but I am a little disappointed in myself. Lucky wasn't actually able to complete all the challenge quests, the memorial quests, I should say. Not because I couldn't beat Saber Alter, it's just because I got literally sick and tired of fucking trying to fight Raiko and Shuten.
That was the one that made me spend seals. That one's awful. I hate that.
Yeah.
That's why it's the CQ, but holy shit, I hate that fight.
Yeah, and I want to say it's not necessarily, again, this is not necessarily because of Shuten and Raiko. No, it's because I'm forced to have Musashi in the front. I'm just like, this completely fucks with everything I'm about right now. So, here's a lot of times. A lot of the time, I was trying to get them to fucking punch Musashi so I can maybe work on my strats, and they're like, "Nah, we're gonna ignore Musashi." I'm like, "Why you do this?"
Yes, so at times it feels like the AI will literally leave Musashi alone just so they can beat you. I did the plug suit method, which is like, Musashi, go to the back. Go to the back, and then the pro strat is to murderize Shuten because she can do all those debuffs and she can AoE charm.
Actually, I still think we got a day left. Hang on.
You might, I don't know, but it's
Wrong button.
it's a rough one. Did I? I guess not. I may have NP'd the wrong guy in this last wave.
Bunyan's about to end in 5 hours.
God, I don't know why the Bunyan. I guess they did the whole. They let that rerun go on a while, but damn, that one, I think they gave it the full 2 weeks when it's time gated and there's 1 or 2 quests a day.
Honestly, I didn't even do the Bunyan thing because you don't get anything besides Bunyans and CE that I already have. So I was like,
there was some. I think there were some okay mats drops. I did it because I didn't have anything better to do. But yeah, it's not. It's not ideal. You don't have to.
Oh, never mind.
And hey, it's summer now. There's farming to do. There's permafrosts in this shop.
Mm-hmm.
But okay. Speaking of doing your stuff, let's check in with everybody. Did you finish your master missions? Which fuck, I don't know if I'm. I just realized I don't know if I'm gonna. When does this roll over? Because a lot of these require you to fight servants, which means the game needs to give me servants to fight. So let's just run down the list. You need to defeat 5 servants, then defeat 10 servants, defeat 3 chaotic servants, and defeat 3 lawful servants, and then complete 5 quests, and then complete 10 quests. Basically telling you to do the event and or do mat dailies, I guess. Because there'll be servants in that. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm doing my command stuff. I'm farming right now.
Lucky is trying to get caught up. I only have an... Oh yeah, that's because That's right, I threw a fucking 10 spin. I can't remember what banner it was, but I saw Bedivere was on raid up, and I was like,
Oh yeah, I threw I didn't put that in there because it's not much of an achievement, but just for funds, I pulled up the summon banner to see what it was. I think that was my weekly ticket, and it was it's Lancer Artorian Scotty Day. I'll try it, and I was like, this motherfucking gotcha's gonna sass me. It's gonna give me Lancer Artoria, isn't it? No, but it was Bedivere, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's NP2 Bedivere. All right,
yeah,
they did in fact sass me, but in an entirely different way.
Yeah, I think I got NP. I'm up to NP4 Bedivere now.
Pretty good.
I was trying to remember. I was like, why am I under 200 quartz again? I was like, oh yeah, because Lucky has poor impulse control,
which is like having poor income control.
Yes.
Okay. Let us go ahead then, and after 15 minutes of all that, let's go ahead and do the news.
Yeah.
Also, actually thinking about it, depending on how long this takes, we also don't have a back half of this episode. Thanks, reruns. We might also do a full mailbag. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll have to calculate. Okay, well, the first one is the one I'm doing right now. In North America, we have the Dead Heat Summer rerun going from the 17th of July until the 1st of August. Presumably at which point Summer 3 will start. So the usual rerun stuff, it's faster. The Part 2 CEs also count for Part 1, etc. The Banner 1 runs the whole length, now with faster rotation. So it's a daily rotation through them, so it cycles pretty fast. So if you're waiting for a specific raid up, which a lot of people tend to do on reruns, pay close attention to the schedule, it will move fast.
Gotta go fast.
Yes, we do. Also, by the way, somebody has pointed out, this is just a little bit of fluff, but apparently Team Castronito and Charizard have never won a round of race ever across all servers.
Oh, wow.
And this would be the last chance for them to do it ever, so there has been some call to try and support them, but I'm not going to make no decisions on what you should be doing. I don't even know, I have to double check. What are their... I think it's because they're always fucked for mats.
Yeah.
This round they're Dragon Fangs. And the problem is that there are scarabs, feathers, chains at stake here.
Ooh, feathers.
Yeah, that's
sorry.
King.
I'm sorry.
That's Killer Demon King of X Heaven. We're currently in second place.
Lucky's not even there yet. Still in the setup.
It's okay. It takes a while. You got to punch some people.
I'm gonna punch some people.
Sorry, audience. If I'm lagging behind, I'm in the shop. I'm gonna go buy up a bunch of these assassin pieces I need because I'm low.
Like, I'm not lying. Like, Lucky, I think, has, like, 4 or 5 feathers right now. Like, I fucking need feathers.
Feathers are usually a pretty big dealio. Yeah,
Kirky needs feathers, Shiva needs feathers.
465 golden apples. I'll spend one. Yes, audience, I did just read out the number just for you. I know that always drives you guys crazy. I have to take my little revenges somehow when you people are like, oh, I've got USOs lined up for Scotty or Space Ishtar. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna tell you how many gold apples I have. And I still complete most events. So speaking of completing events, and also the many, many reruns thing, let's switch over to Japan, where stuff is happening? Question mark?
Lucky is sus as fuck. I'm telling you all right now.
Yeah, we've got an interesting series of events. So first of all, in swing right now, and the more I think about it, the more that's a very short timeline. Hold on, let me double check the math. Is that literally 1 week?
Yeah, no, it's 1 week.
Yeah.
I checked. Well, here's the thing. It's 1 week, but for free, but then it gets put into the shop. So it's like it's like an opening event.
Yeah, basically. So, we have remembered Main Interlude does exist, and, in fact, we're gonna do it, for the CCC event. The opening ceremonies, basically, as Lucky said, is from the 15th to the 22nd. So, like Merry Christmas from the Underworld, CCC is now available as a Main Interlude. You can basically read it for story only, for stuff for free during the duration, and after that you'll have to purchase it from the RP shop. You will also
Prison Tower also included in this?
Kind of. It's not quite the same system, but yeah, you can actually do that. They didn't call it Main Interlude at the time. But yeah, it's a similar thing where you can buy it from the shop. You get 1 free BB copy from the story, and you can buy more with RP. So it's 5 RP to unlock the event if you miss this window, and 2 per BB copy. And I know some people have said that, ooh, that's steep. That's not really steep. Like, if you're a brand new player, like, if you pick up JP right now, like, in anticipation of the anniversary or something, though I will warn people, there's usually a decent chunk of the anniversary rewards are to reward people who have been playing. There is free stuff, but there's usually that extra level for the purpose of, people who've actually been playing. Like, if you were a brand new player, the only thing you'd get is that we did a start dash renewal. For everybody else, like, you wouldn't get the EOR clears of the extra login days or whatever. But if you started right now, yeah, that's fucking expensive. But if you've been playing even for like a year, I think that's basically like a rerun's worth of rare prisms. Because that's extra bonus copies of the welfare, and then any extra copies of costumes or command codes give you rare prisms. So you're looking at like 5 to 10 rare prisms per event-ish, mathematically.
Yeah, it's not hard. It might take it's something that people will not be able to maybe buy immediately, but will be able to buy eventually.
Yeah, it's if you don't have any rare prisms, you will eventually get them, and if you're playing right now it's for free. Admittedly, you have to clear Solomon to do CCC, and CCC was a pretty hard one, but there's still story stuff you can unlock. Now, there's still time gates in the event, and you need to unlock nodes with currency, which you buy with QP. That's a little. I don't know what the prices are like, but that's a little but whatever. You can do it now, which is good, because it means that you can always get access to regular BB, which is good.
Yes. This
is a good implementation. We've also got a KP, Melt, Suzuka, and Passionate banner. That's pretty good.
It's very good.
Gives KP and Melt a rate up. Passionate comes back. And also, kind of surprising, KP, Melt, and Suzuka got rank ups. So, the first one is the one I was talking about earlier. So, King Protea's huge scale skill. Sorry, there's a moth buzzing around me. I'm going to have to smack it in a second. So, her huge scale skill now gives more max HP and also does increasing stacks of an NP defense buff. 8% per turn. I believe I've double checked, this is the first time a player has outright had access to this buff, especially on a skill kit. And that just, and we did some talking about this with some community, and I say we by me in the community, we talked about some of this stuff. I'm pretty sure the reasoning for this is that, so alter egos take neutral damage from every class, but foreigners, who they do take half from, and berserkers who do 50% more. This means that while KP can get a shitload of extra HP, especially now with the buff, where it maxes out at 1,000 HP per turn, max HP plus, for 10 turns. It's a single target NP does a bucket full of damage. It's a lot. It's a lot of damage. Yeah. I think people have clocked it as it's like, without any other buffs or anything, it's like 50k, which is a lot. That's even big money HP servants like Jean or Ganesha will go down if you don't buff them first or debuff the enemy. Which is hence the NP defense. Lucky, what you saying?
Yeah, like, usually the strat with NPs is you don't just take an NP. Every time an NP comes out, you have to take measures against it, or your day is just ruined.
Yeah, the only time I think you can get away with it is if it's an AoE and if you all have class resistance and that servant is not a heavy hitter.
Yes.
Like, I have face tanked assassin or caster NPs that are AoE with high HP servants before.
Yes.
You don't want to do it that way, but you can. And people have noted that because King Protea can get so much max HP, with just something like Waver's damage cut defense up, you could have her face tank NPs. But now it's much easier. Because, just to put this in mathematical perspective, it's 8% of NP defense per turn. That means that with somebody who's got, like, say, a 3-pip bar, like an assassin, we'll assume an assassin, because it's King Protea. That means that you're looking at almost 25% defense up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're talking about somebody who's got a 5-pip bar, like a Berserker or a Rider, that's 40% NP defense. That's pretty good. Additionally, she'll have gained, like, 20k extra HP at this point. So it really gives her a lot more self-contained survivability, which is good. Because, like, yeah, okay, so Waver can help her tanks, but he's a caster. What if you're facing Berserkers or Riders, they'll just kick his ass.
Mm.
So it makes her a little more self-sustaining in that way.
Yes.
Next up, this was a little bit of a surprise to people, but Melt's Sadistic Constitution got a buff.
Mm-hmm.
So now every time she lands a hit with a normal attack, her crit power goes up 50% for 3 turns, with the trigger buff itself lasting 3 turns. This means that, depending on your card pulls, or, God forbid, if you're trying some kind of Melt solo, she's gonna get a lot of crit strength, guys. And let me tell you, Melt makes stars. I believe she has a Lancer-style deck, so yeah, no, it's pretty brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Just one, I believe it says normal attack, it won't counter extra card, but just give her a Brave Chain. That's the full 45% crit strength up for 3 turns. And then, God forbid, you actually use those crits. It's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure why we felt the need to do that, other than just maybe Melt skills were a little vanilla, but yeah, it gives her a lot of powerhouse stuff to do.
As I said, things are coming up interesting.
And then lastly, Suzuka got an NP buff. It's not really that crazy. Her damage got increased 1-fold, which is good because she's a Buster AoE, and now it gives her 20% NP gain for 3 turns. This is just a pretty typical, NP buff thing. Not crazy, just helpful. Okay, so that's the main interlude for CCC, which, when it first happened, I bet a lot of people felt like it's kind of like a filler thing, like a stall, but actually we are kind of in a period like, Studio BB has been tweeting up a storm.
Oh yeah, I actually pulled up the news right now. I believe they're having a stream on the 22nd, because they've been saying for a while now that they plan on announcing new games during summer 2020.
Yes, they are working on new games. They are preparing a video that will celebrate the 10th anniversary of Extra.
Yes.
So,
by the way, real quick, in an interview by Kazuya Nino, who leads the studio, he said that they're working on 3 projects currently, and this is how they described them. One is something related to Type Moon, something related to Nasuverse in a broad way, and something loosely related to the Nasuverse.
That's a great way to phrase it.
Yeah. So there's been a little bit of wild speculation. People are wondering if we're getting people are wondering about Tsukihime, people are wondering about Extra, people are wondering about Extella, people are thinking brand new IPs, maybe bringing in notes.
Mm-hmm.
It's
and also I believe that they are doing one project internally and one project with a external partner.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Type Moon Studio BB, and a lot of people are assuming, especially because they are handling a promo video for the fact that Extra was released 10 years ago, that we're suspicious of some things happening.
Because of this and the next bullet on this list, I'll take it real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. It's short.
We also have running coming up. It's not happening now, but it starts on the 22nd. Is the Ooku Labyrinth rerun, starting July 22nd, same day as the Type Moon stream, Studio BB stream. Excuse me.
And that's also the exact day that the CCC event ends.
So, not a lot of details right now, but we do have some interesting curveballs here. First off, quarter AB up to Lost Belt 3. It's a little
now,
weird.
that's not typical, but usually you do that in anticipation of story stuff.
Yes. So, also, we got some additions to the bonus servant list, including Sei, Shonagon, Kagetora, Mori, and Maonobu.
In short, basically, they added all the 4 new Japanese servants that weren't in the game when the original came out.
And no further details, as we said, but presumably a Kama banner, which is going to be the fucking pain because this is going to be right before anniversary.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is Kama's first raid up since the original run. And
yeah, it's got her face on it, so it will 100% there will be a Kama banner through this. And probably they'll do what they did for some other stuff, and they will just put Kiara in rotation there. Assuming did Kiara have a raid up recently?
I want to say no.
Yeah, so it'll probably be Kama Kiara. Let me check what OQ was originally. They had 2 banners, right? The original summoning campaign was just Kama Parvati, and I think they had and I believe they had a part 2 that was Munenori, and it was Kiara Scheherazade and Munenori Yagyu. So maybe if I was gonna cut one of those, I'd cut Scheherazade because she's permanent. But we could see some interesting banners here.
So I said Lucky's very sus. I said because right now everyone is chomping at the bit for Summer 5 and Anniversary, and with I don't want to necessarily call them extra events, but Ooku Labyrinth is kind of, to me, the spiritual successor to Seraph.
Yeah, it's got some themes that it features Kiara heavily. It's also, and it's connected for reasons, but it's also a dovetail into Lost Belt 4.
So, I'm wondering a little bit if Summer 5 might be Moonsa related.
It could be. We did have that suspicious dialogue of MASH about Summer being scary.
Yeah.
At the very least, I'm going to go ahead and predict right now that they're going to continue the storyline advancement, and Summer 5 will require at least Lost Belt 3 cleared. Yeah,
so that's Lucky's kind of left field kind of thing. It's doesn't have a lot of weight, but it has a little bit, because as I said, we've been screaming for Summer Kiara for a while, and if it's continue of some extra stuff, Summer Kiara, oh god, what if Summer Kiara was fucking welfare?
That would be a trip.
That'd be a fucking trip. Well, it would match up.
Yeah, it could.
Anyway, we will see. As I said, with Seraph and OQ being here, we have a lot of Kiara energy, and as I said, we have a stream coming up. Like honestly, I should check in to see when that stream goes. Even if I can't understand a damn thing, I want to be there.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people in our community will be tracking that. Ugh. Ow. Okay. But yeah, so there is definitely we talked about this a little off mic. There's definitely a ramp up going on here, like hunting quests, interlude campaign, main interlude, which includes rank ups, an event rerun.
They're beefing people up for something.
Yeah, we're getting pretty in there, and we've already cleared the summer rerun, so and we don't know how long we don't know when Ooku Labyrinth is supposed to end. They just announced that it will start on the 22nd. It's very new. We may even have more details by the time this episode is actually live to public, but at the time of recording, they still haven't gone whole hog on it. Just, hey, it's happening. Hey, new bonus servants. And who knows? There could be even more rounds of like rank ups or something. I don't think that any of the servants associated with OQ need it, but that doesn't stop them before. Let's see. Actually,
I don't know. Maybe Scheherazade get another one. Maybe. Actually, has Scheherazade got a rank up? I know she's got an interlude.
She does have a rank up for one of her skills. Yeah, at least one. Released. Ooh, that timing's very interesting. Because the official date that they, much like us, they were planning on putting off the celebration to like a week after, but the official release date for FGO in Japan was July 30th, which will be basically a week after the 22nd. So that's a very interesting time period we're hitting up. And this all could just be a stall and be like, shit, we don't actually have any brand new content to bring out in the first half of the year anymore. We just want to hit anniversary, But it does definitely feel like they're trying to prep you a little. There's buffs, there's main interludes, there's a chance to get BB, who is in a very critical class.
Mm-hmm.
It's, stuff is happening.
Lucky would like to err on the side of these people are Madlands and they have this giant fucking plan.
I technically I do believe that they actually have the content planned out. It just, I feel like this just reinforces more that FGO is really anal retentive about tying the timing of things to real life stuff, right? Like, the animation updates for Zeno and Urale and the costume for Artoria, those already exist. They previewed those months ago. Those are already ready to go. But because they are associated and were announced with the Heaven's Feel release, they will not release those until the Heaven's Feel movie actually comes out. They wouldn't do it even if a gun was held to their head. They're like, no, that's not when it comes out. So, I feel kind of like the same way about this CCC thing. Like, no, this is definitely timed to put CCC and extra stuff in the mind because they've got something going on with anniversaries and stuff. Like, this is tied to real life shit. So, I don't know. And that just makes me extra sus about the Ooku Labyrinth rerun, too. I'm just like, okay, did you decide just to throw this in there because you could, or what? Is it like we realized we didn't want Kama to go a whole year without getting another banner, or...
No, honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Ooku Labyrinth got a rerun this quickly. It only came out, last year?
Well, I think that is because it's a similar situation to CCC. Like, CCC, it still took them 2 years, but CCC got a rerun pretty quickly, despite being a collab, because it was a story thing. Did it actually jump in the order? It might have. Whereas Ooku was not a collab, and is very much a story tie-in event. So it is not weird to see it get a rerun regularly. But it's still kind of, speedy-uppy.
So, that is that. By this time next week, we will definitely know what's going on with Studio BB and maybe what they got planned on. So, make sure you tune in next week. I said, I guarantee the FGO community will be ablaze with the news.
Yeah, the 22nd is in the middle of next week. It's a Wednesday, and it'll be a little earlier because time zones.
Time zone.
We just love talking about time zones, but
time and space.
We will have those news for you. I will say I don't expect like a crazy news. I released News Desk in the middle of the week for the rerun because it was literally going to start before the episode recorded. It started in the wee hours of this morning, which some people were confused by. But it's like, no, I checked, guys. It says it starts at 1 a.m. on the 17th, so yes, it is tonight. Now that was super hard to hit, just maintenance and all that stuff. But yeah, I probably won't do like a midweek update, but we will definitely have stuff to talk about. Because we'll see if there's any weird shim-sham with the CCC thing, because that'll be over.
Shim-shams.
And oh geez, no, I'm not gonna roll for real. Are you not paying attention? I don't have anything to roll. Ignore that quartz. That quartz isn't for that. It's a rerun. It's not real. Doesn't count. If they give me tickets, sure. That's usually, I think I've talked about my ticket philosophy before. I usually don't save tickets unless they come out at like a banner thing where I'm like, either I'm clearly done with this banner, or it's a nothing banner and I'll pocket them, but usually I spend tickets right away. I don't see much point in saving them. Just because they're only a single summon. And if you save tickets, then you can't do weird, YOLOs with your threes. You have to spend tickets, so the game wants you to spend them. Ugh. Like, I think, No, I think I still went back for tickets on APOC. There were some events. Well, I mean, the Scotty banners, I was like, no, fuck you, I'm done with this. After my 2 10 pulls were very sassy, I called that up. But yeah, that's my ticketing thing. Okay. What time are we at? We're at about 40 minutes. So, I should check. It's the 17th, so the poll ended. Hopefully it didn't end a tie or anything weird while I wasn't looking. That's okay. Lucky we'll do it. No, the Wandering Sea continued to be locked in, so we'll do that next week.
Lucky's building arts team with event C's.
Mm-hmm. Is Lucky building an arts thumbnail?
I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with the thumbnail. I've been thinking about it. Like, Because we were doing thumbnails by the time last time around, so I've used all the servants, so should I just use fucking C? Actually, I'll just use CEs. I can use
C's, just great C's. That's an interesting.
some great CEs.
Well, that's an interesting crop you've got there, buddy.
What crop?
That's a cultured crop, but also I've noted the relevant part of the image, which I think you're aiming me for, is the 132 tickets. Which
Get
I
out of
say,
here with
like,
that.
yeah, I don't do that. That's not me. This is why you people force me to talk shit to you about how many apples I have. Because people always be talking about what they have the most of, and I'm like, nah, dog, the only thing I got for me is that I have 464 gold apples, and you don't. Also, I love the Skeletor gif. I am starring it.
Just sometimes you out.
Yeah, okay, so for the people who can't see, the gif is Skeletor walks through a mirror, pokes his fist back out, and punches the mirror out, so it's broken. Just like, nah, I'm done with this. That's a spicy roll you've got there, Devilish. Okay, well, Lucky, I think it's that time again.
Alright,
it's
so
the only thing left in the show.
Let's decide. Do we want to go full mailbag or our mailbag?
No, people love the long show. Go all the way. This show's only 40 minutes.
We're going in. We're going deep. Everyone, strap the fuck in. Get comfy.
So long as Omega remembers to actually adjust the ad breaks, so there's not 500 in the first hour, people actually seem to enjoy sitting through longer shows, and we make more money that way.
That is good. I like money.
Who doesn't like money? Communists, that's who.
I was about to say.
We're on the same wavelength.
So, everyone, sit down, get comfy, get a drink, because it is time for a popular segment of Let's Talk FGO, the Let's Talk FGO mailbag, where we read aloud questions, statements, comments, complaints, concerns from all of you, and respond accordingly, sometimes with sass. So it looks like we got 35 today. As I said, because we have nothing in the back half, we will go all in. As I said again, do not expect this to happen every week. It's just we have literally nothing to talk about this. For example, when we get to like Summer 3 and stuff, yeah, we're probably going back to an hour. We're going to talk Summer.
Like, honestly, this would be one of those weeks where we would either skip this week or we would like have done What's Up Today or something if we didn't do mailbag. Like, There's literally only 40 minutes of actual content. This would be like, oh, the faffin'. Oh boy, it would be a thing. But with mailbag, you provide us the faff.
Yeah,
it's like you hand us pieces of paper and we're like, oh, we can faff with this. Let's turn this into a paper airplane or a cootie catcher or something.
Lucky you can make paper boxes.
I used to be able to do paper planes, but I can't anymore.
All right,
I just can't waste paper.
So the first one comes from, did you know that snow leopards love to nom on their fluffy tails?
Yes.
Someone give me fucking art of Premanix doing this.
You will find it. It exists. It's out there.
Good. Exactly.
That's where I know.
So they have a question, and they ask, how do you stay spoiler-free, but at the same time enjoy browsing fan art? I didn't play the VN when it came up, so by the time I got invested, several things were spoiled already. Beyond that, parts of the Solomon chapter and even some future elements were spoiled. I might know about that hooded person. Well, I guess this is going to be one mostly for Lucky, because, Omega, you tend to spoil yourself for mechanics and, story beats and whatnot, right?
Yeah. Omega reads summaries and he double-checks what's going on with, like, spoiler channel and stuff. Because stuff gets foggy in 2 years, and I feel like it's good to have a decent grasp of what's going on in the moment so that I understand what people in the community are talking about. But also, I take those summaries with a huge grain of salt. Like, even though I'm quote-unquote spoiled, I don't count myself as having actually experienced the story until it comes out in English and I play it through. Like, I knew a lot of the beats of Lost Belt 2, but I didn't consider, like, I actually understood that story until I played it and ran through it.
And that's super fair, but Lucky's definitely a person who likes his experience to be as untainted as possible, and I'll definitely say, it is a little bit of a challenge. First off, it's about who you hang out with. For one, I don't go on Reddit. I fucking never go on Reddit. I don't go on 4chan, I don't browse forums. Like, the only community that I'm actually particularly, active is, and I say that with air quotes, is our Discord community. And I have made it known in no uncertain terms that anyone that willingly or unwillingly spoils me can only at best hope for a quick death. So people know not to go talk spoilers or they die.
And I we have a spoiler section. I and all of the rest of our mods enforce this very heavily. Like, if you so much as look crossways at a spoiler, we will be like right there behind you, be like, son, are you sure this shouldn't go in spoiler chat? Like, it's spoilers are one of those things where it's very hard. You can't take it back. Once it happens, it's done. And both of us go back and forth on, like, lots of little spoilers about stuff, but, like, for big stuff, it's like, nope, you can't put that genie back in the bottle, so...
Like, story stuff, like, character designs and maybe servant details, I usually give a pass to, because, as I said, right, fan art is fucking everywhere.
Well, and also, especially with the way Discords are, like, like you said, with fan art especially, it's hard to avoid that a new character has come out. Like, yes, there was that, archetype of a Dark Mary, which I still don't understand exactly what's going on in the Requiem collab. But, gee, guess what? She was super popular. So, she was fucking everywhere. So it's just like, I guess that's a thing. I'll find out what that's about later. Bye!
Bye! Like, and there's definitely some spoilers where, like, if people don't know, it's like, well, that's kind of your own damn fault. But I'm thinking about things that have been out for, like, 5 to 10 years and aren't in the public consciousness anymore so much.
Once again, to show for What's Up, see our episode of What's Up tomorrow, because we're going to talk about 7 Remake, which means we're inevitably going to talk about 7, and we'll probably give a warning, but in general, we go no holds barred on the original 7. It's been out since 1997, or 6, or whatever. It's been out like 20 years, okay? Anyway. Yep.
So, maybe I should say shoot. I should. Okay, but, words. I don't have them. Okay. But things like, specifically like Lost Belt details, event details, twists, surprises, twists, the answers to questions, surprise appearances by characters in story. Just like, no! I tell people how's the best way to put this? Like, there was no reason for you to bring it up to me specifically, other than, like, just, thing, because it's not that hard to not talk about, personally, I don't find it hard to not talk about spoilers. I really don't. It's like, I just stop and I go, are there people here who may have not, like, done the thing? Yes, alright, let's not talk about it. Or, give a big fat disclaimer, so someone can stop me, just in case. Right. And for some people, they just open mouth and just, like, alphabet soup comes out. I'm just all like,
Snape killed Dumbledore! What?
What?
Why'd you say that? That wasn't relevant right now.
Yeah.
We've had a couple of those meteoric moments where people have been in, like, community calls, and we've been like, just like, the mod guns come out, and we have to Secret Service tackle / shoot that man.
Like, I can understand people are excited about things and they want to talk about them, but I don't think there's actually in any circumstances where it's just okay to speak without thinking.
That's generally true.
Yeah.
And some people have bad mouth-brain barriers. Mm-hmm. I know I can have a bad mouth-brain barrier that usually requires me to be tired, but it's...
I'm saving that.
That's a good one, yeah. That's the Secret Service tackle. That's the mods taking care of spoilers. It's just, he's saying something, get him! But yeah, it's rough work, and God bless the fact that I believe all of our active mods also play JP, and one of them plays JP content as it comes out. He's an absolute mad lad, but that means that he can be like, whoa, you're fucking spoiling something. Get out of here. Like, before, because there are some things that Omega's like, I don't even know if this is a spoiler. So, yeah, but and we've talked about shit, whether it's spoilers or just in general in our life, right, where we've been like, ooh, shouldn't have said that first, should have thought about that some more, but in general, for spoilers, like you said, it shouldn't be too hard so long as the conversation is not drifting in a direction to not spoiler, and there are a lot of tools to not spoil, especially in our Discord community. Mm-hmm. And the beautiful thing about... I think we should rope this back around to fan art. The beautiful thing about fan art is, for us anyway, most of those people are Japanese, and they speak in moon runes. And I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but the picture looks cool.
This is why I literally say, I'm like, alright, this person was on the new JP banner. I have no idea what's going on here, but they hot. I'm gonna retweet this. That's usually Lucky's process right there. Mm-hmm. Alright, but, like as I said, honestly, the best way to avoid spoilers, it's who you hang out with. It really is.
And honestly, not to throw stones at the Reddit, the subreddit, that we have before, but They also have a robust mod team who I believe are pretty dedicated to, whoa, don't go spoiling shit outside of spoiler threads. Spoiler tags or icons to indicate this thread is about spoilers. So, well, Axe, that's probably why you've developed bad habits.
Mhm.
As we have yelled many, many times at Axe bringing up discussion points, and he's like, I'm not sure if this is a spoiler. Then this goes back to our caveat of, well, maybe you shouldn't say it, Ben. Maybe we shouldn't bring it up. Okay. God damn it, Devilish. How many spoiler images have you posted? Stop it. Stop it. These are car spoilers, by the way.
Honestly, I've always loved that joke.
Oh, it's a great one. It's just like, now you've done it to me twice. Why?
Oh, by the way, did you know that snow leopards love to nom on their fluffy, soft, fluffy tails? I can word, I swear. Someone has posted a lovely, oh, it's a lovely Premanix gif of her doing, and I'm like, yes, I am pleased. I'm pleased with life. But did you know that snow leopards love to nom on their soft, fluffy tails? Thank you very much for your question. I hope it helped. And we're going to go on next to the man with yaoi hands.
Well, before you move on, I would say, you joke about not being able to speak. People would know this, but I should say, when I did the news desk this week, I had to do 2 takes, because the first time after I did my little doo-doo noise, I just completely lost it, and was just like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, shit. Take 2.
Welcome to Studio Mega. We don't speak good. Listen, if there's 2 things that Studio Mega does not do well, it's talk and write. Well, not write, spell, excuse me. We write very well.
It's talking, spelling, mathematics. AKA all your core subjects.
How do we even survive? Anyway.
Amazon.
Yes. Actually, yes. They do it all for us. So, the man with yaoi hands. They say, hey, y'all. Hope things are going all right. When thinking that almost phased out of the game, I was wondering if you think there were any vanilla skills that should be buffed in some way. Some skills that might be possible contenders would be the standard way of battle continuation or charisma. Should they be buffed, or are they fine the way they are? Thanks, and have a good one, y'all. So, first off, a lot of charismas I think do get buffed.
Yes, a lot of low-level charismas have been buffed. Though speaking of them, because Gawain also had Charisma E that got buffed. That
Liz
probably
has.
means Saber Alter's due for another buff, because I think her vanilla Charisma is E and isn't buffed. God knows what it'll do, but it could... Yeah, a lot of low-level, like Liz's Charisma, anything that's like B or A level is pretty close to 20%, so usually it's okay. It really depends on the servant. Like,
honestly, charisma is like one of those skills that's just fine as is. It's just a team-wide attack buff. You don't really need much more than that sometimes.
Yeah, I think the reason why the low-level ones were is because the scaling was very bad. Like,
Yes.
Let me actually look up what a vanilla Charisma E does for you for attack bonus. It's very negligible for a skill you have to, like, put resources into to make it good. Which is, I think, what they're going for.
Mhm.
Yeah, so... yeah, Charisma E starts at 6% and goes to 12%, and that's on Saber Alter, Lancer Alter, and Gawain. And Gawain has gotten patched, so probably they'll fix those.
Eventually.
Did Alexander and Caesar get their charismas buffed yet? No. Yeah, so Liz was Charisma C, but also Liz has fluff about her charisma being better on females anyway, so I think that's why they did that buff. And then beyond that, we have a lot of vanilla charismas. There's a shitload of people at Charisma B. That's the 9 to 18%. For 3 turns, for a 5-turn cooldown, that's not bad.
It's okay, as we're saying it is.
Yeah. Honestly, and vanilla, again, it's all about the ranks. Batcon, like, you might think it's a little vanilla, but there's nothing wrong with the guts. It just depends on the scaling, so let me actually look that skill up, too. I mean, they put out a new unit who has Batcon C, that's Gareth, recently, so I don't think they feel like that skill's bad, even if she is a bronze. Like, the cooldowns for Batcons are a little long, but honestly, just guts in general, especially considering they're like, it's like 4 or 5 turn duration. That's not bad. That's you get to live.
That's a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, and then at higher levels, they actually have enough that you don't immediately die the second time. Like, Gramps with Batcon EX is like, hey, you get, though they did buff that, isn't that actually his skill that did get, yeah, that got turned into Abyss of Death. But even before then, like, it's kind of weird they buffed that one. I guess it's because it was his most vanilla skill, but it gave him 1 time of guts for 5 turns that at level 10 has a 5k heal. Like, he comes back with 5,000 HP. Spicy.
Mm-hmm. Super spicy.
So they could, but I don't think that's very high priority. I think the skill you're probably going to see buffed that's vanilla is Tactics. Because that's just a team NP buff, and it's not very good. It's like Charisma tier strength, but for Team NP can be very hard to pull off. So in general, I think that's a good skill that would actually go up. And also something they haven't completely phased out is expect low-tier Alluring Nightingale and low-tier Innocent Monsters to get phased out too. Like, they're still working on some vanilla skills to phase. We're the only ones with vanilla. I mean, Vanilla Instinct's not all the way done either. We've got, I think it's, does Saber Lily still have her Vanilla Instinct?
Does she?
I think she does. I'm not sure. Her NP's been buffed, but I don't think her skills have been buffed. I don't know.
Hang on, let me check her.
Santa, Saber Alter Santa, Rider Alter also definitely has hers, but that's going to require that comes out as a main interlude, or she gets dropped to the FP gacha or something, right? Like,
oh well, let's see here. Actually, Lily's is a Journey of Flowers EX, so it is literally max. Its NP rate plus 20%. At skill 10, its NP rate 20% with a 5-tool cooldown. So
that's not instinct though.
That's not instinct now.
She still has her initial instinct.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking like you talking tat because I was like, wait a minute.
No, sorry. That's her Journey of the Flowers is a golden rule type thing, which honestly, at 20%, even at 5 turns, maybe could use a buff. I don't know. I'd have to compare it with skills because Ushi just got her buff for her Tengu Tactics, which is a similar skill. Tengu Strategy. Yeah, that has the same skill. Tengu Strategy used to have the same skill values as Journey of the Flowers, but now it increases her quick effectiveness for 3 turns too. So they could do an overhaul on Saber Lily. I honestly, I wouldn't be shocked about because she's in the FP gacha. She's basically a permanent unit now. She's rare as hell, but it still counts. Actually, Omega is wondering if we're not going to get a shitload of old welfares added to the FP gacha like this anniversary or something. Because that's a conversation we had lately about, I had this conversation recently about Caster Liz and Brave Liz. Because, like, Caster Liz doesn't, like, her kit's not bad. Her skills actually do 2 things on all of them. It just doesn't make any gosh darn sense because she's a caster with 3 arts cards that are all 1 hit, you know? It's like, are you trying to arts crit? Why? Why would you do that? You know, it doesn't really work for the way she's designed. So it would be interesting to see what, if anything, they buffed on that one. And then we had a very, very long conversation about how to fix Brave Liz's 3rd skill. I actually double-checked the numbers. At like level 10, all of her buffs are really crazy. The problem is just that they're random and it costs you an NP bar. It's not really worth it to not just pop her mana burst and poke a Lancer. But by the way, the running theory is either make it so that they roll the chance for each buff so you could get all of them, or make it so that it's still random but it no longer costs your NP bar. Like remove the demerit. And I know some people are like, but then she'll get like 50% buster effectiveness for 3 turns, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, no shit. And actually, her buffs are really good, but she can't ever use them. So yeah, she should actually get them.
Yeah.
Like, she can give you, like, your team, like 1 turn of 50% attack up or something. It's crazy. She can do Team Invincible. It's like, actually look at the list of buffs this could proc sometime, guys, and then just think to yourself how sad it is you never use that skill.
Yeah.
Okay. This is why we do mailbag to fill time, by the way. We are already at an hour. We've already spent 20 minutes on the first 2 questions.
That's how we do. All right, but I think that's enough. So, man with Yowie hands, thank you very much for your question. I hope that answers a bit. Now we're going to go to the next one here from the sad boy with somehow both Lucky's and Omega's luck. Sir, how fucking dare. Give it back. They say, hey guys, thanks for answering my question 2 weeks back about the Serious Light command seals. Keep up the great work. I eagerly look forward to hearing from you guys on my weekends. Well, thank you for listening. First off, to explain my alias, I got my first Scotty off the retroactive course from login bonuses, which was amazing. But wasn't amazing that I had to wail for my first Tristan, who came with 2 extra Scotties, which while super cool and I'm appreciative to, weren't really necessary. F's in the chat.
That's just him reading, by the way. That's not us calling for that.
Yeah. Now on to my question. When abouts do we get the update that gives us mats for completing story quests? And is it only for Lost Belt or is it retroactive for part 1? Thanks again, and keep up all your hard work, and I'll see you on the racetrack. Yeah, you'll see my dust.
Hey, community, answer that question for me.
Well, I do know, probably, late August, we'll be getting the Interlude Quartz retroactive thing, but the materials one, when was that?
They say it was a downloads event after LB4. That narrows it down. I'll hunt.
And I'm pretty sure it's retroactive all the way to part 1, because I remember people got a fuck ton.
Yeah, it covers everything.
Let's see here. Let me look at some download events here. To Google!
Yeah, Grand Wiki has a box for for anniversaries and milestones. So let's go ahead and pop that open. Let's see. How far do you go? Deep down. Okay. What was it? 1900? Was it the Scotty one at 1800?
Okay, no. 15 million was the new 5 XP card.
That's good.
Alright, so was it before that?
Essence, Rare Prism, Scotty.
As we go down the hole looking.
So the Scotty one didn't add that.
Internet, please work.
Yeah, we're having a rough time. The internet's being a little, fucky today. No, it wasn't 19. I thought it wasn't 17. Was that Bride? I'm just going down the list. Bonus campaigns, special master missions.
Oh, 60 million was the one where you get bonus quartz depending on extra missions. Let's see here.
Storage, so it wasn't 16. Was it 15?
Yeah, definitely was not 14.
15 was the free bonus campaign, Twitter campaign, Vinci Shop. Was it not? That was the Hellfire of Wisdom. Was it not? No, I don't see it. Nobody in the chat's being helpful. They know nothing. Was it with Lost Belt 4? Was it with New Year's? It could be New Year's. Let me check about that. When's that New Year? That's 4th anniversary. Where is...
Could have been in New Year's?
Yeah, think of that. Hold on. For anniversary 4, login bonus, Lost Belt clear rewards, extra mission. It's free quests. That would make sense if it was that one, because you can get a lot for doing free quests. Cost storage, command card strengthen, gotcha revamp, lucky bag. No, it wasn't that. Could be New Year's. All the audience knows that it's around Lost Belt 4. Thanks, guys.
Well, let's see. When was Lost Belt 4?
That was last year, a little bit ago.
Alright, let's see. I'm just going to pull up the events. All of it. I'm just going to go there. That's what I'm going to do. Can't stop me. Can't stop this.
Mets. Getting big updates, but it was released June 15th, 2019. Yeah, don't worry, guys. We're crawling all the way up in this rabbit hole.
We are.
I assumed that, like usual, the live chat, I would be able to just yell something at them, and they would fix it. Hold on, is this it? Main Quest Clear Aid Campaign. That was in March. Okay, Main Quest Supplement. Alright. Yeah, okay, so that's March of next year. Maybe. Players already clear, rewards are reversed. Oh, yeah, okay, I think it is. Yeah, so this is rewards are distributed to story quests, in addition to the original Sync Quartz, and then there will be additional rewards given for clearing the chapters.
Okay, so where is it?
Yeah, they have just actually linked it. The Main Quest Aid Clear campaign. It'll be March of next year.
Oh, okay.
And it includes some AP stuff, but yeah, it'll that appears to be the increase of the rewards for each free quest.
Oh man, I'm just gonna get a fucking 18 Aurora Steel for clearing Lost Belt 2. That's wild.
Yeah, that's in addition to actually what each of those story quest nodes, the main quests, drop, is you'll also just get package deals. Like, for instance, if you've cleared Fuyuki, you'll get 5 Dragon Scales, 5 Dragon Fangs, 5 Void Dust, and 14 Bones, in addition to what you actually get for clearing the main quests. Salem gives, 23 stakes. I see a lot of feathers in here. So this will be good. And I don't know, because while technically this is tied to a campaign thing, it also is the kind of quality of life stuff that usually we get early, so we could see this earlier, I don't know. It probably would have to be after Lost Belt 3 actually comes out, because that's as far as the rewards go.
Yeah. So, honestly, we'll get it when it drops, or something.
Yeah, I could see this at Lost Belt 3 drop, or, at New Year's or something. Or, Thanksgiving. That would be perfect timing. Give thanks! Here's Matt's! Boom! That sounds like the kind of stunt they'd pull over here.
Mm-hmm.
And by over here, I mean back in Japan. For us over here, it's weird.
Alright, but the sad boy with somehow both Lucky's and Mega's luck. There is your answer. I hope it was clear. Thank you very much for your question. We're gonna go on to Boingoing Proto, who says, we're servant to have independent action skill.
Kiara entry has it.
Yeah. Actually, isn't that independent manifestation?
Yeah, technically it is, but it's kind of the same deal. Independent manifestation is actually way worse, but
Yeah, it is.
I actually saw this one a couple days ago. I'm assuming it's a fluff discussion, not a like mechanical one, because
Oh yeah, Bill. For people who don't know, independent action in lore-wise is basically how long a server can run without connection to a master. With like low ranks only being like half a day, with A and EX just being they don't actually need a fucking connection. Maybe.
yeah,
So
from anywhere from like high levels are like a couple days, a week, to just so long as they don't use up their magical energy, they can stay around as long as they fucking like.
Class-wise, usually archers have this to operate independently from their masters.
Yeah, it's so they can go very far away from you. But also, the higher your independent action is, the more our servant has resistance to like control effects and stuff.
Yes.
So that's why Gil's kind of a fucker in Zero, because he has a very high level of independent action. So,
and it's also why Emiya was able to do the things he do.
Yeah, so it's a very scary skill to have.
Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna be one to also as like Lucky is definitely in Kiara is Love faction, but also Kiara is a scary lady who you do not want to give a let go of the fucking collar. Honestly, she probably doesn't want to. Thinking about it, she probably doesn't want you to let go of her collar. She probably gets up on that. What doesn't this woman
that's
get up
Kiara.
on?
She would be like, Kiara's the one who like hands you a leash and is like, "Let's go," and we're like, and if you don't go with it, then she'll just eat you or something.
Yeah, it's one of those things like, here's my leash. If you let go of this, I will kill somebody. It's just like, But other than that, because Kiara's definitely my knee-jerk answer.
Yeah, I don't want to literally run down the line. It's mostly scary evil servants who I would not want to go full bore on on independent action and just be like, yeah, I can just fuck around for a couple of weeks. Don't need nobody.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Excuse me. So, Oingo Boingoing Proto, thank you for your question. Made me kick. And we're going to move on to first-time listener last week and member of the Day 1 FGO gang. High five, my dude. And they ask, question, what other extra classes would you be interested in seeing implemented in FGO and who might fill them? Examples, Boxer class, Hollow Alexia, and Capsule with Bazette. I don't know who this other person is. Otto Lycos?
I think some of these are just ideas they have. I don't know.
Faker class, a la Case Files, Rogero of the Paladins looking like Hector. I said, like, I don't know if that's a confirmed one, but I mean, we already have, like, a legit Faker class. I mean...
No, like I said, I think the parentheses is, like, their theories.
Mm-hmm. Launcher, a la Extra, Summer Karna. Cool stream, we'll try to catch in the future. Extra hype. So, I'm kind of interested in, like, make lists, because that's, like, Lucky doesn't know, like, every single, like, one gimmick class, but one that always, like, has stuck out to me, like, super hard was the Saber class.
Saber's a big one. That's that's one of those things that almost feels like it was made for like FGO to expound upon, because much like how Avenger was kind of a big deal final boss secret class, and Ruler was a big deal final boss secret class, and arguably like Moon Cancer and Alter Egos are kind of like big deal boss secret classes. Saber was that for the original Extra with the motherfucking Buddha.
Yeah. As for people in that class, it's like I can only think of like 3 off the top of my head, but it'd be the Big J, Buddha, and Muhammad.
Some of which there would be problems depicting. Theoretically, Kiara could qualify for the Saber class. She just never does. There are also a couple of people who are theoretically called messiahs or messianic figures in history. But just, we already have a canonical example. It's the Buddha. Who gets roped into fiction all the time, so they could very easily do that. Having already done it. Like, I could see actually doing the Big J. That's... even for FGO, that would probably be a little spicy.
They'd probably have to just, like, call him, like, something like they do with, like, Queen of Sheba,
Just call him Messiah, like Persona 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that, because that could be...
Make him hooded, you never actually see his face.
That could be a danger zone.
It could be a danger zone. But yeah,
But there's a
I think
lot
that's
of,
honestly
a lot
one of the
others.
reasons that they might have a little bit. They might be a little hesitant to pull the trigger on that because Savior is most definitely something of high religious imports, and while they probably don't mind taking shots at maybe their own with Hinduism.
Well, yeah, and Abrahamic religions, I believe, are a little more touchy.
Yeah.
Like Islam is literally touchy about depictions of the prophet. Like that's a lot more of a thing that the religion wants creative control on. Whereas with Buddhism, it's like, nah, dude, draw that guy everywhere. Giant statues,
cool,
many Buddhas, fat
Is he
Buddhas,
punching
skinny
demons?
Buddhas,
Awesome.
girl Buddhas, Buddha punching demons. That mountain is a Buddha. Like you can do whatever you want. So yeah, that's a touchy one. Honestly, I think they could and maybe still should do Faker. And honestly, like I said, I thought about this. The way Faker is pitched honestly almost makes more sense than Assassin. Like as a heroic spirit class of like, oh no, these are the literal knockoffs. I know it's called Faker because it's a Fate Stay Night joke, but like the idea of copycats, body doubles, and duplicates almost feels easier to manage than like, oh, and you assassinated somebody. Because Assassin's one of those, much like Writer, Assassin is one of those classes that gets a little weird sometimes.
I'll say like casters. Honestly, the cavalry classes really just feel like a lot of shit just gets shoehorned into them because they don't.
Yeah, Berserkers at least you can be like, has this person ever gone crazy? We can work with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the cavalry classes are unfortunately very finicky.
Mm-hmm.
But like launcher, that's literally nothing. That's literally not even a thing.
If I was gonna have one of those, I'd go with Gunner.
And even then, we've already had archers with guns. It's like, I think the reason why they haven't put forward Gunner in FGO, because it's only ever been a hypothetical class, is because that would require them to basically fuck up the class order just to make a class that can also just be archers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, it's a little weird. But no, like Launcher, like some people joke about Funny Vamp. No.
Or Monster.
Arcuate will just be a Berserker. Shiki was just an assassin. She was a monster. And Jinako calls Karn a launcher because she sees him, like, shoot laser beams and throw spears like he's a fucking motherfucking super robot, but it's literally just a joke.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's a lot of these which are like, it's funny they said boxer. I was almost thinking that would be, like, wrestler, like Plato or grappler in the OVA we just got. But even then, that's like, honestly, I think we have a problem that while a lot of these extra classes make sense, they're too gimmicky and they're too late to the game. We're already locked into the way the classes work. Like, fuck, there should just be a default class for barehanded fighters, right? That shouldn't just be Berserkers for no goddamn reason. Unfortunately, we didn't do that, so we're here now. There is no monk in FGO.
I feel like I kind of feel like the problem is once you start like dividing classes, then you have to start just dividing everything.
Yeah, well, we ourselves have bitched and moaned about Moon Cancer.
Yeah.
Like, there are classes which are woefully undersupported. And so I'm not eager for them to necessarily add any more classes. The one class I really want them to do is to basically do the alter ego version for Knight's class, aka the Demon Pillar class, where they do multi damage to Knight's classes, and maybe to alter egos, because I don't think the only thing alter egos are weak to is Berserker, I think. Mm-hmm. Which kind of forms a weird triangle with foreigners, but not really. So, like, if they wanted to keep it on the same pack, they could also make it so that those ones are weak to foreigners. Which, by the way, that could work for Saber, because Sabers have counter hero as a class skill. So, they could be strong against Knights, they could be strong against alter egos, because the Buddha is canonically, Saver, the character Buddha, is canonically superior to Kiara. Like, she cannot fight that guy. He's too cool. None of her tricks work on the Buddha. Even though she has, like, an anti-hero, anti-messianic power, the Buddha is still a hard counter to Kiara, so they could fluff it that way. But then also, because those are messiahs, they could make it weak to foreigner. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of this of Kiara just trying to put the moves on a Buddha, and Buddha's just like, no, and slaps her. Stop it. Go to Horn.
Like, the Buddha just hands her a lotus. She's just like, the fuck?
I think that's enough on that. So, thank you, first-time listener last week and member of the Day 1 FGO gang, for your question. It's fun to think about. And speaking
we're
of,
building a theme here,
yeah, from Depressed Country Boy. My question is, what are y'all favorite extra classes?
Good use of y'all.
As I said, I think we've answered this one. I think we both said Foreigner, though.
I think we talked about what mechanically what classes we like to use before. In general, mine are Avenger and Foreigner. That's true, but that's for me reasons. And definitely, like in terms of utility, it has to be Foreigner or Alter Ego. Say what you like. Rulers are cool too, but gosh, Berserker resistances and then multi-target class advantage. Fuck you, mixed nodes. That's why I'm like my number one request from a new extra class is give me something that bullies sabers, archers, and lancers all at once.
As I said, for Lucky, it's definitely Foreigners. I do like to put the bully on Berserkers. I said it also has Abby in it, and Hokusai, and it'll have Yang, and I'm just like, yeah, soon I will have the Tentacle Trifecta, and things will be good.
Go Team Tentacle. And we'll see what happens on Summer 3.
Yep.
Talking about my fucking summer luck, I'm just like, the joke is clearly being that, like, I'm going to try for tickets or maybe quartz roses if I have them on that banner specifically for Summer Mave and for MHXX. So clearly, I will once again get shitloads of Summer BB. Like to go ahead and call my shot once again because it's been a couple months since we told this joke. Omega is predicting that BB will hack her way into doing the 11th roll when you do a 10 pull, just so I can roll 11 Summer BBs and nothing else. And I'm just going to be like, why, God? Why? This isn't even helpful. That's not even enough for a USO. Anyway.
I have BB gifts to post. This is important.
We have a lot of those.
All right. So
you're posting them in gotcha games by BT Dubs.
God damn it! Why was I even here?
I don't know. Somebody's posting stuff randomly. What happens when you miss? Well, yeah. Sorry, Luke. That's what I meant. I wouldn't get enough USOs for a free servant. It would just be 50% of the way there. Again, this is why we keep talking though about like, especially with now they're doing main interludes and stuff, and there's a rare prism economy. Like, gosh, guys, do something about USOs. I'm hoping that this anniversary is going to be the great USO unfucking and the great welfare unfucking. I hope.
That's what I keep asking for. Actually, I think it's a question.
By the way, Siderin, you joke about that. Lucky was an absolute madman and did make a 10-minute edit of BB Spin's right round.
Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah, it's on your YouTube channel, and I linked it on the community page before. It's a fun one.
I will go find it real quick. It's funny. It makes me kick every time. Actually, how many views does it have? It doesn't have that many, but I don't care. It was made for shingles.
Many, but I did cross-link it at least, so.
That's 426. It came out a year ago.
Pretty good. I'm doing an NP. Anyway, yeah, that's enough about that stuff.
I'm gonna...
See, by the way, guys, this is why when we're serious, we have to give it a time limit, because if we don't give ourselves a time limit, we will just talk about whatever. We will just commence the fuck around.
The fuckery. Oh, shit. Shit, I lost the community page. No! Hang on, I gotta get it back. Where'd it go? Here. That's not the right button. Okay. So, Depressed Country Boy, thank you again. Now we move on to VP of the Genre Fan Club. So, hey y'all, I was wondering what y'all would think about potentially splicing the Teach Me Omega Sensei bits from the previous Let's Talks and have them be standalone videos. I really like listening to these and re-listening at times, but as someone who's unfortunately didn't find you guys until a few months ago, I can't find them all. If it's not too much work or too much of either, I'd really appreciate it. P.S. I hope this was the right place to bring this up. Love listening to y'all. Regards. So, I'll tell you right now, this was the right place to bring it up. But, unfortunately, I will tell you, I do believe Omega, whenever we do a Teach Me Omega Sensei, you actually put it in a Teach Me Omega Sensei playlist.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, do I have news for you? There is actually a playlist. People have brought this up before. There is a playlist you search on our channel for playlists. It is called Teach Me Omega Sensei. It collects all the official Teach Me and also all of our old videos that had really big, long lore topics in them.
Now, even though I say that, like, sometime in the future, I would not mind particularly going back and revisiting these, maybe redoing, retouching them as something standalone, but this is for future talks because I'm pretty sure I can convince Omega to do it, especially if we try to make it something in the spice of something like overly sarcastic production does, except for Nosoverse. But that is definitely something that...
Yeah, we'd want to make sure we're doing flares. I wouldn't be averse to like a supercut of Teach Me Omegas or something, but we would definitely, if we're going to do them again, especially considering that takes time, effort, internet, and stuff like that, because we'd have to calculate the time codes, because a lot of those are older and don't have time codes. We'd have to figure out what the time is, we'd have to splice them. I still have all the original video files and the audio files, so that's not a problem, just that's man-hours of work to get something that I'm gonna take a guess, and I don't know for sure, sometimes we're surprised, but I'm gonna take a guess that it would probably not be super popular views-wise. Not any more so than those episodes already get, I mean. So I understand the convenience for it. It's definitely a thing to think about in the future. But for now, yes, there is a playlist, so you can track them all down. Occasionally, it takes me a couple of days or like an extra week to remember, oh yeah, did I add that to the playlist? Just because playlists are a little funky with YouTube sometimes. But yes, they will eventually all be added. And if you've been listening to us recently, you're probably caught up on the newer ones, so it's the older ones you need to find. And it should be up to date. And if it's not up to date, somebody let me know. Maybe we'll fix it.
Oh, VP of Janu's Fan Club, thank you very much for your question. I hope it answered you, and I hope you enjoy listening to Omega talk to you for hours. This next one comes from Caven at the Embermount. Send help. Let me just dial 119 here. And they ask, hey guys, enjoy the podcast as usual. My question is, how long do you think another extra class, Baker for example, would be implemented into the game? Again, enjoy what you guys do each week. Take care.
Extra classes seem to be on the people's minds.
Yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, as I said, again, we never know when they're just gonna fucking break out new classes.
Let's see. Okay, let me think about this.
Moon
Ruler was
Cancer.
launch. I'm thinking back. Ruler was launch.
I believe Moon Cancer and Alter Ego was Serapha of Friends, and Foreigner was Salem.
And so there's really Avenger was Prison Tower with Dantes, but that was very quickly followed by Jean Alter.
Yeah, so it doesn't seem like there's necessarily a rhyme or reason for how they do it, but looks like most particularly it's for story or event reasons, not necessarily a time. So if they were to bust out something new, it'd have to be something probably related to a collab, event, or story.
Yeah, it would be something they needed for a story chapter or a big event. And they, they played it conservatively. Apparently based on translations of the newer volume of Requiem, Voyager's class is still technically Voyager. He's much like how Angry Menu was the Avenger. He's apparently a title character of a new class. Mm-hmm. But that would require inventing a whole new class to add to FGO that would require stats and stuff. Mm-hmm. And instead they stuck him as Foreigner, which also still works because remember, servants can qualify for multiple classes. That's been a thing forever.
Yes.
So it's very interesting to think about, and I don't know. Like I said, it would really be like if there was a Case Files Part 2 collab, they could totally put Faker in there. Mm-hmm. But they could also just make Faker an assassin. That probably wouldn't be weird.
No, it wouldn't.
And also, I'd be okay with that. Faker, please help me. Make her Iskandar support. That would be funny. But yeah, no, it could really be anything. If they did an original extra tie-in, which they haven't, they could totally do that thing we talked about in Drop Saver. They could bring him in.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know what their scale would be. It really depends. But we've given you a recap, and I think that's everything. The only one who was launched was Ruler, and John was heavily featured in story though. And then Dantes was Prison Tower, which is technically a big deal in the story. And he is a recurring story character. Same with Jolter, though she was added by an event, that was kind of a cap off to the fact that she was a major story boss too. Also, I believe technically Jolter is our first instance of us flipping a boss character. Not counting other Fate franchises where we've had playable villains. Let's see. But yeah, and then Foreigner was for Salem, which was a big deal. Though they must have known they were planning on actually spacing it out because Hokusai was very fast behind that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It took them a long time to add more Moon Cancers, but they added a lot of Alter Egos when they did. And honestly, like we said, Alter Ego is the most bullshit class ever. So much so that it's not even a class. Literally all the time. Tamo Cat is an Alter Ego, just not class. She's not in an Alter Ego class container.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so shenanigansy. There are so many things that could be Alter Egos.
More Tom 9 win. Give. Alright. So, Kevin at the Embermine send help. Thank you for your question. Hope it answers you. answered what you wanted. I know it was kind of vague there, but here at Studio Mega, sometimes we just don't know. We just don't. Heck. But we're going to move on to the guy whose alias was going to be the guy who keeps getting his face smashed in by Prince Lothric, but he beat Prince Lothric while listening to Mailbag last week, so he had to think about something else. On point. The question. Musashi plushie and the Foe plushie are back in stock, but you only have enough time to order one before the internet buys up the entire stocks at max speed like it did last time. Which one do you choose?
Musashi.
Musashi. Musashi Bean is precious.
Yes.
It's great. I love it. I would definitely buy one.
But if you want to make it so I can actually buy both Aniplex, I mean, I have a wallet.
Well, probably. Actually, I should probably check on my fucking order. It still has not arrived. You got your book, didn't you?
Oh, you didn't get yours? Yeah, I got mine. Great.
Hang on, let me write stuff. What you doing, my dude?
You should check on it. Like, there were some delays, but I got mine.
I know the fucking poster ain't supposed to arrive until later, and I'm okay with that, but...
Yeah. Smell that lovely
Hang on.
smell.
Hang on.
It's so big and shiny. By the way,
like, I saw
Japanese
people
printed, so
taking
it's red
pictures of
left
them
and
like,
right.
I need this in my life.
Oh yeah, no, it's real good. Oh, I can see redrop and glorious real life D. So shiny,
password?
so new.
Yeah, that's the password. What are passwords?
It's arranged chronologically.
Open orders.
There's a lot of little details you can notice.
It's still pending fulfillment.
Weird. Gosh, I didn't even think about that. Demonic Bodhisattva's got a really cool Two-Face kind of thing going on there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's see here.
Oh, and in this, when it's this big, you can see clearly that in Room Guardian, Jiniko's playing FGO, and her title servant is Karna, of course.
Oh, I wonder if it's because they ran out of the fucking holographic sticker.
God, I hope not. If that bamboozled you, I would be upset for you.
Well, yeah, because I'm looking
at
it right now, and it says like I have the they're either pending shipment because the fucking anniversary poster has not been released. It doesn't get released until August 31st, but that's still a fucker. You don't have to send everything in one goddamn package. Or it's because the fucking promotional item, the Aniplex Online Fest holographic sticker, is out of stock and they're expecting more.
Well, Tyranny King saying it might be because they don't send partial orders, so it might be because of the poster. You might be a little.
Well,
first of all, who doesn't do that? Who doesn't do partial orders? How dare you?
I'm pretty here's the thing. I'm pretty sure when I said it, they said it should be arrived by some time, which was close, but I don't know. I'm shenanigans. Whatever. Lucky will live. This is nothing. None of these items are something that Lucky actually needs. It's just something.
No, it's just a very nice. It's a very nice book that is very clearly, very, very clearly just the Japan one that they happen to import into this country. Though now that I've seen it, I've seen why they probably wouldn't, because it would need some kind of sticker notice that it's read left to right because it's bound that way. Yeah. I was flipping through it while Lucky was looking at his order.
Mm-hmm. So, thank you. The guy whose alias was going to be the guy who keeps getting his face smashed by Prince Lothric. But he beat Prince Lothric while listening to Mailbag last week, so I had to think of something else. What is Prince Lothric from, by the way? Do you know off the top of your head?
That is a Dark Souls thing?
Oh.
Dark Souls 3, yes, that's right. I thought it was.
Okay. This next one comes from Pan Fling Kun. You did it great pronouncing it 2 weeks ago. I hope I pronounced it right again. I hope.
I believe
but they ask. Hi guys, love the show. Just want to know if you ever wasted a limited FGO resource, crystallized lores or grails, just because you could in the early days. Because I sure did. My caster Ellie chain is level 85 because it was my first 4-star MP5. Didn't know much about welfares. Nowadays I don't even use her. Oof. Also gave one to my Okita and Skahawk because they are my first SSR, but now my Okita is level 100, and I'm committed to raise my Shisho all the way. Thank you, and keep up all the great work. Greetings from Argentina. Well, greetings to you, Argentina. And as I said, Okita and Skahawk actually can't go wrong. They're both very good at what they do. I will give you an F for Caster Ellie Chan because, again, we don't say those bad servants, but some are just not built as well as they could be.
Yeah, no. I mean, here's the thing. At least pure stats-wise, she's a decent head above all those schmucks in the 3-star status who are also have AoE NPs. There's lots of them in casters. None of them are very good at what they do. I have like an NP4 Cascu who I used a lot before Halloween. They're okay, but she does stuff. But yeah, no. So that's a solid F. I gotta be honest. I don't know if I could leave. I don't know even if it was a servant I regretted. I don't know if I could leave a 5 hanging though. I might have to put 2 in there to make that 90.
Lucky. I don't know. Like a semi-precious resource. I think I regret. I think So, it would have to actually be St. Quartz. Back when, like, I think I told the story, like, last week or previous time. When I first started FGO, I just threw a lot of fucking quartz at story banner.
Yeah, but who didn't? Fuck, there wasn't even anything not to throw for a long time in the game.
Yeah, I know, but, like, it's just one of those things of, like, if I'd been smart, I would have saved a little bit harder.
Yeah, I guess probably. I probably could have saved a little bit more. I got most of what I wanted, but I could have saved harder on some stuff.
That's like I said, it's not necessarily, like, a big regret. It's just all, like, kind of wish I did that. Because, like I said, Lucky has always been very firm on what he's going to spend his grails on. And his crystallized lures, he usually has enough that he doesn't usually worry too much about what he buys. I think I have 39 lures right now.
Yeah,
so that's
I knew about the grail mechanics before we started because that had come out. Because that was one of the things we got at launch, which JP didn't have. So, I knew that they would be limited and important, and my Medusa is level 80, and I still do actually use her, though, because especially after her buffs, she makes a very efficient, cheap rider. And it took the game a long time for them to give me one of those big deal AoE riders. Like, so I was like, no, I actually use Medusa a lot, and I like her, so I'll feed her some grails, and I want to actually feed Urali some grails, because I still use her a lot, and I do notice that her, for some of the later game content, her raw stats need a little punching up, maybe.
I don't have to worry about Urali personally myself, because since I am an Arts Team user, I can usually give her enough buffs that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I still don't have Tamamo.
But, like, speaking of Tamamo, yeah, I've always said, like, my first instinct is to grail Tamamos, and I am fortunate in that all Tamamos have a pretty fucking solid kit. So
and if they don't, they'll fix it.
Yeah.
And even if they do, they'll fix it.
So, yeah. After we get confirmation of whatever Assassin Tamamo is, I will probably set aside grails for her, and I'll probably start deciding when from there. But I'll think about it long and hard and be all like,
Yeah, and again, I already know that I've got probably at least a couple grails coming to Summer Ishtar. Well, yeah, Summer Ishtar, because she's another Ishtar, but then also, if I get Space Ishtar, which I will, even if I have to go to fucking space, I'll do it. But that's also another 5 that is definitely set aside. Like, that's my universal promise. Are you a Rin? If you show up, you will get grails. Grail snacks, love them.
Grail snacks.
We should come up with a Grail snacks commercial. That'd be pretty funny. All right,
only if Grail Coon's the fucking mascot.
Chocolate Grail Coon, of course it would.
Yeah. So yeah, but if we're talking about
quartz is technically a non-renewable resource. I even sometimes still now spend more quartz than I mean to, but quartz is slightly more renewable than, because technically even though there are grails for sure are a non-renewable resource. And I have never misgrailed. I've even been conservative with units I knew I was going to grail. I didn't start grailing a Resh until very recently, even though I've had her since this Christmas, because I was like, do I have the time and money necessary to do this? Because that's my third SSR who's grailed all the way. And it's expensive and time consuming. So I'm personally very cautious about that, yes. And technically you could kind of whale for lures because you can exchange them for rare prisms, but again, getting to level 9 of a lot of skills is a big hassle, let alone actually getting to the 10th. So yeah, no, I'm conservative with my skill levels too. It's why I still have a decent amount of QP. I play the game a little close to my chest, and then when I actually using it, I'm like, oh yeah, I should remember to buff your skills. You're actually useful to me, and I think you need a little bit more of that punch. That's when I start going whole hog.
Lucky, with skills, it's usually, like, who do I like to use? Like, sometimes I scaled someone to 10 just because I was like, I need them in something, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just use you forever now. This was the case with Ryder Mordred and Caster Gill, honestly. Because, honestly, I can't remember what I was doing, but I needed an AoE arts Ryder, and, like, who do I got? Mordred, MP loops, need skill levels, go. It makes this do better. Caster Gill, go. I think this was during APOC, I think.
Possibly.
Yeah, it was, because I was a fucking mad lad, because we were getting so much QP, I was all like, I'm gonna spend it.
Yeah, and you
I don't know, Lucky doesn't remember much of the APOC collab, for reasons.
Yeah, no, you went into, like, a trance-like state and beat it, and then passed out.
Man, people keep talking about fucking, just fucking how thick like servants are and stuff. But every time I see Sugar Vacation, I'm just like, God damn, you fucking nerd. That's the one with fucking Dion and Alstovo. And I'm just like,
That's a spicy one, yeah.
It is a spicy one.
Well,
And it's going in the thumbnail.
Okay, well, it's going in the thumbnail, kids. Actually, yeah, that'd be in... Is that? Oh, I gotta pull it up. Is that my book?
What's up?
Because, let's see, it's through part 1, though, so it might not be. Let's see, we got Christmas. Definitely have the Summer 1 CEs. Flipping. There's all the... I also realized that, man, you don't see it because there's fire, but in True Somebody Fire, Mordred's showing a lot of skin. A lot of Mordred leg in there. There's also that, the Gorgon Sisters one, which is great in full size. Okay. That's that collab. That's for the summer. There's Summer 1. Break. That Carmela CE is great, blown up full size. This might only be because it's only the first year. I think it stops after, it stops after that Christmas. It doesn't go to Summer 2 yet. Heck. A shame.
Okay. Well, let me go. Let's continue.
You got your games because people are talking about shit in there.
So anyway, Pumpkin, thank you very much for your question. We're going to move on to another procrastinator who plays FGO while listening and keeps procrastinating. High five for that procrastinator life, yo. Hello there, Lucky Omega. How are you doing? Okay. Been hearing the podcast ever since the collab with Quartz and loved it ever since. Because every month you guys talk about deepish, dank, the dankest, Nasilore that I'm too lazy or too terrified because I may end up wanting to read it all whenever I find it and keep procrastinating some more to look up. I was originally not planning to ask a question, but I thought of one while writing the mail. Here it goes. Question. Since summer is a-coming, I at least know... Let me see. Excuse me 1 second here. Because since summer is a-coming, and at least I know the tale of probability nightmare that was the Raikuing of last summer for good old Lucky, do you plan on going plus ultra on summer? And if so, what summers would you rather over spooky while trying to get your summer targets? Wishing good health and fortune and good rolls to you too. Another procrastinator who plays FGO while listening and keeps procrastinating. So, again, Lucky does plan on going plus ultra, as he does every summer, as I said. Honestly, he finds it, like, this is his own personal philosophy, but with summer, you will always expect the rerun before the new summer. Like, always. And that kind of, like, with such a large new roster of servants, it's usually, like, 6? Yeah. There's usually, like, a Banner 3 with old ones. It's like, Lucky doesn't want to have to weigh the consequences of maybe not getting them all and having to decide between old servants and new servants. I really don't.
Summer just hates me, so I take what I can get. Yeah.
Lucky, as it says, is a glutton for punishment, and so is his wallet. So I do plan on going on plus ultra. Now, statistically speaking, let's see here. If I remember right, it's MHXX is it MHXX on the first banner and then BD on the second? No.
MHXX is a 4-star.
Oh, that's right.
The first banner should be Summer Jean, Ushi, and Ibaraki. I believe that's just it, because they go down to 6 this year. And then the second banner is Summer BB, MHXX, and Summer Maeve.
Is it John? Who's the SSR on the first banner?
John.
Oh, it is John.
Yeah,
I don't know
John.
Why. I keep thinking she was an SR for some odd fucking reason. I
don't
know why.
She's her NP is literally a giant whale.
I know, but still.
No, they went all out on that one, yeah. And then Jean Alter is the welfare.
Yes. I remember that. So, knowing my luck, I'll probably get through Banner 1 pretty okay, because I'm going to have a lot of tickets to start with, and free courts. But my luck always gets weird when I have to start spending money. It always does. Lucky very rarely can only spend like 180 pack and get what he wants. It's either he gets it all while it's free, or he fucking has to like burn his soul fire. It's either a 0 or 100. That's how it's always been. That's how it was last year. Like I got, if I remember correctly, I think I spent a little, like, I don't think I actually did spend money. I can't remember. But it wasn't a lot, because I remember I was feeling real good about what I'd done. I think I got, like, Castanero 2, NP2 Castanero on tickets. And I think I might have gotten everyone else, at least, like, NP1 in the course I had. I think. Don't quote me on that. But when Banner 2 came around, I didn't have those resources, so I had to, like, pull out my wallet, and that's when we had the great Raikuing of 13 Mamas.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that this...
I was just gonna bring up, and y'all should hopefully know it's captured on camera somewhere. I recorded that video. You can go back and find it in our channel. Probably check the FGO playlist. Playlists are good, guys. Check them. But I was fuckled hard on the first summer and blew my load and spent, I don't know if it was a full 80 pack back then. I was a lot poorer like 3 years ago or whatever. But it was bad. I got slammed by three summer foxes and no summer SRs, especially not the one I wanted, and it was her solo day. So yeah, it was a thingness. Actually, I've already told one of my summer tales of woe today. It was this episode. I know that was like 2 hours ago, guys, but I did already talk about how I have been shim-shammed again by summer.
Well, I just realized that the thumbnail is going to be lollies, traps, and big titties.
So, FGO?
Yeah.
Okay, great, perfect. But yeah, for me, I will attempt to go whole hog on the first banner, because does that exist in CE form Axe? Huh? No, we've done all those before. Lucky's doing CEs.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this earlier. These are all reruns. We've literally done all of them. So CE's B, and I have to figure out what I'm gonna. Probably the CCC Main Interlude, but it might be the comma. I don't know. I gotta think about what banner art slots in there best. Anyway, yeah, for me, I'm gonna try and go whole hog, because even if she's not a primary target, I will accept a summer Ibaraki. I still don't have a regular Ibaraki, so that's me's. Berserkers like me, but just not all at the same time. They take turns. They take turns liking me. Hi, NP4 Beowulf and NP4 Fran. Fran, who eluded me for like a year before she came home. But so I will go all out on that one, because that's got the SSR I want. And then if I have anything left, which it's summer, so I won't, I'll spend like 400 quartz and be destroyed and get fucking nothing. And then somehow get like Ibaraki, my least wanted, on one ticket, and just be like, well, I guess I'll just accept what I've got. Hi, 3 summer Nobus.
Lucky will probably be rolling a fuck tongue on the second banner, so the SRs on the second banner are... Because he definitely wants himself... I said, Lucky doesn't care about necessarily getting MP levels, but he always wants that one copy, and Summer BB is probably going to elude him like the little devil she is. So I will probably have NP5, Saber Mave, and NHXX.
Yeah, and I like I said, if I have the effort, I like those units, but I will, you can't always get what you want,
like,
so I'll
if
try.
I had to pick, like, honestly, if I had to pick a tomb, I think I would like Maeve more, but I literally have almost all the Artorias. I literally do. I am literally, right now, as we're recording, only mentioning MHX Altar. She's the only one I don't have, and she's eluding me on purpose, I feel.
Don't worry, we got a downloads banner with her headlining it coming up sometime in the future.
Yeah. So I just want to maintain my high levels of Britain, just for shits and giggles.
Yeah, and I actually, I like Summer Mave, so I'll be sure to try it, but we'll see what happens. Regular MHX showed up, so yeah, we'll see what that does. But no, I'm joking that because Summer BB, despite her cool effects, is lowest on my list for several reasons, not just her BB-ness, but also I have words for Nyarlathotep. That's right. Omega's gearing up to sass the crawling chaos. He'll do it. Fuck it. So what? Screw him. That's gonna be real subtle until that comes back tomorrow. You like that gift, Lucky?
I do like that gift.
But I'm presuming that much like Tomalancer, Summer BB will fucking photobomb my gacha rolls. But we'll see. You never know. Probability is weird.
That's us. Joke, sass, anger, and sleep boys. That is us.
Correct. That's like the build of the Powerpuff Girls right there. You pour in jokes, sass, and anger, and accidentally spill sleep in there. That's us.
No. I think sass would be Chemical X.
That's right. Yeah, sass is Chemical X. But yeah, I think that's everything to say on that one. I'm just glad that the unit who is my favorite assist is the free one. God bless you, Summer Jolter. Actually, wait a minute. No, I can't say that. That's not true. I don't have a Skahak. I was about to say I have good record of getting the welfare versions of a limited unit for Summer after I already have them for real, but that's not true. Summer Skahak is currently my only Skahak. We'll see, maybe it'll become retroactively true. I've never actually tried very hard on Skahak. I was willing to try hard for...
Ever since I got her off a ticket, I don't think I've ever actually rolled for her. I'm just like, nope, I got one, I'm good. Yeah, I've spent tickets and never gotten super lucky. That's probably it. I've never... All the ones I have the permanent versions of are servants I was willing to try and bleed for. Yeah.
Jolter. Even though I got Jolter really quick, I had a shitload of money saved up for her. Like, did I have like 400 quartz for that? It was at least 300. It was a lot. I stockpiled a lot for her, for Ishtar. I stockpiled a decent amount for Hokusai. Yeah, that's right. I think I just got happened to get lucky with like tickets or a 10 pull and got Abby. Because I was trying for Shiba, but luckily they gave me a free ticket to solve that one. Anyway, yeah, summer's gonna be cool, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Where were we?
We were thanking another procrastinator who plays FGO while listening to Keep Procrastinating for the question. Thank you very much. And next comes from a pilgrim on a fluffy crusade. With the question, hi, Luck and Omega, keep up the great work. I'll try to. I know you've spoken about the music of the Fate Fractures in the past, and I apologize if this is a repeat question. I just wanted to ask, what are your favorite songs/pieces of music? Sam Gories got to help make question easier are opening, insert, endings, and insert songs. Actually, this reminds me. Someone was, I think about 1 week, gave me a bit of flag because I pronounced Eimer's name as Aimer.
Whatever, fuck them. Suck my dick.
But, oh man, if we're talking like music, fucking, like, insert songs, fuck, what the... Like, Eimer has a lot of good ones. Like, she does Brave Shine. What's the insert one she does? Fuck. I know it. It's on my fucking... Hang on, I'm just pull up my fucking Spotify. I'll see it. I'll know it when I see it. I
believe it's Last Stardust.
Yes, it is Last Stardust.
Which, by the way, that's a great one. That's a really good one.
Also, Insane Dream, one of the insert songs for Heaven's Feel, I believe, is really good by her.
I don't remember who did it, but it's one of the big ones. But actually, it might be her, them, whatever, however that works. Omega is never sure if people are singles or groups anymore. It's really hard to tell sometimes. But Oath Sign from Fate Zero was a really good one. Yeah. I think we've got some interesting choices of song coming up in Lost Belts. I'm gonna warn everybody now. Lost Belt 3 actually has its own unique music.
Ooh,
like it has its own opening style theme, kind of like how OQ has its own music, which by the way is out now in the new OST that actually came out.
If we're talking about CM songs, like my favorite is definitely Heretic, the Salem one.
Salem's a good one. The Ooku Labyrinth one is very good. Yeah, I don't remember what that's called off the top of my head, but it's good.
Let's see. Actually, in-game tracks, Shiki Sai Snowflake Shield, the music box that plays is the main thing music box version. That makes me cry. It's also known as Advent 1, but in game it's known as Shiki Sai, The Time of Parting Hath Come. It's basically the orchestra version of the main theme.
Yeah, because that's Advent Beast 1.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Which we've talked about our favoriteest in-game tracks before a little bit.
Yeah. Like, if we're talking about real good ones, like, currently fucking Venus Racer is amazing.
Yeah, event music is good.
Yeah.
I have always been a fan of, and will continue to rep any remixes of Emiya.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Unlimited Alloyed Works is great.
Yes, which is full on our thing. Honestly, it's a little weird, but, most of them. Altera's leitmotif is very slow and one-woman waily, so it's not a big deal. But
oh, actually, fun fact, I just realized the main theme for the main theme for Merry Christmas from the Underworld is a mix on the Extella main theme, or the opening theme.
Ooh, that's spicy. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But speaking of extraverse, both Nero and Tamamo's leitmotifs, which play during their NPs, are very good.
Mm-hmm. Actually, what's it called? Hang on. Because, yeah, Extella has a very nice, it's not an opening theme, a title theme? That's what it was. Yeah, The Sun in the Abyss. That's what it's called.
Extella has very good music.
Yes.
Generally, Fate knows how to pick composers, but yeah, Extella has very good music selection.
Let's see here. Other tracks that I really like. I really liked Apocrypha's opening by Egoist. What was it? Legend of the Heroes, I think it was? Something like that. But Lucky loves Egoist back from, like, the fucking Supercell days.
I mean, you want to talk about another just series that top to bottom has great music that works, Case Files, including so much so that they don't even have a fucking opening, like traditional opening. They just made their own with the leitmotifs, which comes back in one of the major themes. I
think it's called Let's Start the Case Files.
Yeah, it's called Let's Start the Case Begins. Mm-hmm. And the action version is called Call Him Dr. Heartless, or some call him Heartless, or something like that. which is really interesting because that song starts a lot earlier. But yeah, yeah, that was Unalloyed Blade Works is what we talked about. The Emiya remix. But in general, all Emiya remixes are good. Listen,
honestly,
just FGO music is great. I have a great love right now, though, of just the Lost Belt Grand Battle theme, which also played during the Cosmos and the Lost Belt trailer, narrated by Gatia. That's as the kids call these days, a banger.
Honestly, actually, you know something I'm actually surprised about. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm surprised they didn't give us a translated version of Essentials of Fate or something.
Oh yeah, you talking about that? Maybe because it's out of date.
Maybe
like they'd have to redo the assets and dates for stuff.
Yeah,
we'll see. That was as much as I think Essentials of Fate is really cool. It is actually slightly dated because, for instance, it doesn't mention Requiem at all.
That's true.
And it's got a lot of graphics. It's just a cool recap thing that's not in, the whole oeuvre. Next year they will almost assuredly show that other animation they did because that's just FGO stuff. God, it's so good, so good.
Excited for what they do.
Especially now that we know, because I think it goes up to Lost Belt 2, because there's fucking Martha and some others punching giants. By the way, that's the segment that Arthur is in. Arthur rescues Gudako in the Lost Belt 2 segment, because you use that guy. Trait damage large. I used many support Arthurs clearing Lost Belt 2. Many support Arthurs and many paintings. But we're not here to talk about Lost Belt 2 again. Yeah, music is great.
Music is great.
Fate has always had a really good, talking about themes. Shiki's whole leitmotif from the Karo no Kyokai movies, which plays during her.
Everyone, just go look up Yuki Kajiura. That's the main composer for Unlimited Blade Works, Karo no Kyokai. She does a couple other things.
Ooh, thinking about music, I'm just thinking about Zero. Zero's got a really spicy one. Spicy soundtrack.
I gotta look her up.
Battle is to the Strong. There's is it the Golden King?
Oh yeah, she did do Fate Zero as well.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. But I think it's from original FSN. But Gil has a leitmotif that shows up in Babylonia. That one that's a really good one. By the way, Babylonia has great music. Oh yeah, the anime version, real good. Choice. Yeah, I can't remember. Both original music and remixes of FGO.
FGO is just good music, yo.
Yes. Heck, fuck it. Fate is just good music. I don't know a lot of Fate music I don't like. Like, even though, Lucky brought up the APOC openings, I don't like that. I don't necessarily like the style of music, but I'm not going to say it's bad. Like, that's just, it's not my personal preference, but it's not bad. God, APOC's in-game soundtrack. I know you've been listening to it. Oh, it's so... Oh, talk about leitmotifs. So good. So many recurring themes and bits. Music is great, y'all. Like, I can't compose or play music for shit, but I have a good ear. Spoilers, when we talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake tomorrow, oh my god. That OST is a masterwork, and I really... God, is it all out? Do I have to order this from fucking Japan to get it?
I think it's here in the US. I think you can order it on Amazon, but I think it's fucking expensive.
Probably. Well, it's because every actual theme has 5 phases. Is the thing?
Yes, it does, and it's phases of other songs in it.
Oh yeah, no, what they did with Motorcycle Chase, Midgar Expressway. Holy shit, guys! I was worried for a little bit because there's some plot that happens in between the moments that they weren't going to do the thing, and then they did the thing, and then they did a thing inside the thing, and then they moved to a third thing, and then they wrapped their back around to the other thing. I was like, fuck, dude. Hell, I don't know if I can say that. That could be slight spoilers. It's been out for a month. Close your ears for 5 seconds. There's a Genova remix in this, which is in 3 phases. When they go to the final phase, they remix elements of One Wing Angel into the interstitial, which I loved so much. Also, everybody universally loves that version. When you go to the 3rd phase and the beat kicks in. But yeah, music is cool, and there's a lot of really interesting themes to talk about.
Alright, you fucking scalper.
Somebody scalping this?
Well, I don't know, but I'm looking. There's only one listing. It's a limited edition import. Let's see here. The special edit version limited edition is $294.99.
You can buy the EMP version in 7 discs. Sorry, MP3. I'm sleepy. For $35. Jesus. This is all digital, too. Fuck.
Yeah.
I'll put a bookmark on that for me when Daddy Google Bucks comes in, because, oh boy, it's a... It's a real banger, but yeah, we'll talk about that more next week. Or on What's Up, this week.
All right, but okay, let's move on. So, Pilgrim on a Fluffy Crusade. Thank you very much for your question. Here at Studio Mega, we love music. And we're going to go on from Undead Fox. Dear Lucky Omega, my question is, what would you add to the Rare Prisms or Rare Prism shop? Lucky's knee-jerk answer to this is USOs.
USOs, more welfares, more reruns. Just do it. We have an economy. Maybe old command codes, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Or fuck it, even repeat command codes.
Honestly,
or actually, hell, to Mana Prism shop? Just give me some new Mana Prism command codes. Give me new command codes. I love command codes. I haven't used any yet, though, because I only own, 2, and they're hard to stack up, you know?
Uh-huh.
We talked about this at length last week, because I think we got a mailbag question about command codes, and our only real issue, I think, between the two of us is just consistency in acquiring them. They're really neat, but having them actually do all the stuff is hard.
Yeah. So... as I said, Lucky has been... I think I've been screaming this since year 1, actually, that USOs need to be in the Rare Prism shop, preferably at, 3 Rare Prisms a pop.
Yeah, that's because you have been quite frankly wailing for a long time, so...
Yeah.
It should shock nobody that you, a man who spends a lot of money on FGO, is like, guys, your safety net could use some fixing.
Yep. But other than that, I definitely would like limited command codes to maybe get put in once a month. You can buy one this limited command. You can buy one copy a month for however many Rare Prisms or Mana Prisms. Because I understand they want to make scarcity with some of these, but at the same time, they have mechanical weight benefits. I'm just all but my strats, I need uniformity. Especially in a game system that gives you random cards. You want a little bit more control over what those cards do, I think.
Yeah, and that's what command codes are for, but then it's okay, but I need to own multiple command codes so that I can actually make my command deck do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is very important. This is to slightly tangent before we get into several questions which are similar. Again, this is a joke we use a lot with me in the community when talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Children's card games. We talk that the deck has to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The act of doing stuff is the most important, and it's why, for instance, some of those vanilla skills were buffed. What does Instinct actually do? Well, it gives you a amount of stars, I guess, but it's not worth it compared to, say, 2030 or other stuff which just shits out stars. It's a very small amount. Same with low-level charismas. Is it actually worth investing anything into making it so that if your Charisma E can actually give you, 12% attack up at level 10? Probably not. No. Not unless you use that unit a lot. So, command codes do stuff, but you need a lot of them to have a consistent deck of doing stuff. So, yeah, give us more command codes. And if you gotta put them in the Mana Prism shop, whatever, dude. I already buy CDs out of there.
Do it. Alright, so let's move on. Okay, so I'm gonna smash these two together, literally.
That's kind of what I figured what we do.
Alright, so this question comes from both Merkava Main and Blue Eye Sigurd, who ask, this might have been asked before, it might be asked in the future, I'm ad-libbing here, but what is your least favorite and least favorite events, and why? This is also the second question. So...
Well, yeah, Blue Eye Sigurd asked what's our favorite seasonal event. So
Yeah.
we got some double stacking there, yeah.
We got some double stacking. So... favorite events...
I miss Halloween already.
Yeah...
Halloween's
Nothing... Halloween is definitely top tier for me. The Liz trilogy has been a barrel of laughs. And I say it has because while we get the rerun this year...
That'll be it.
That'll be it.
It'll be Oni Land, which is only halfway Halloween themed. And I'm sure there'll be great stuff going on. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be funny, but it won't be the same.
Yeah.
And then next year it really won't be the same because it's just straight up. No, we left that dude back in the previous era. We Saber Wars 2 now.
And from what I understand of Saber Wars 2, it's kind of weird in itself. So, yeah, the Liz trilogy was always a barrel of laughs. As I said, I was never really super against Liz because my first real interaction with her was in Extella, but dealing with Liz these 3 years is just kind of one of those it's just kind of one of those things you just come to expect. It's like, well, here comes Halloween, and yep, there's an invitation here,
and it's one, they're all connected. Like every year we got something different out of it, but also it built Liz's character arc. Mm-hmm. You know, the first year she was still kind of, her caster self was basically like her Lancer self, just a little more happy-go-lucky about stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they fused to form Brave Liz, who was like actually trying to be a hero, and then you got Mecha Liz out of it, who's like purpose-built to defend, and a great character, very funny. Mm-hmm. So like there was a whole sequence of event, which on the one hand I'm glad they kind of wrapped up because then it can be complete, but also I miss it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I won't miss the rerun this year because I'm going to get my other Mecha Liz. Thank you, reruns.
The Mecha Liz, it's going to be great. As for my least favorite...
Can I call part of an event my least favorite? Lucky probably knows what I'm going to say. I won't shut up about the second half of Summer 1, though.
That was... I always feel like
the Planet of the Boar Apes was not the bestest. I feel like that literally was, oh fuck, we don't know what to do with the fact that we have 2 banners worth of servants. I guess we need 2 parts to this event.
Yeah. Also, I can't point but events that have like point ladders but not good ways to climb said point ladders or have unnecessary amounts of grind to them.
There are definitely event mechanics that are my least favorite. Yes. Even though I went the whole way, fucking Valentine's this year. God damn it, Samiramis.
Yeah, that one, as I said, Lucky has a permanent scar on his heart, as he will always be down 1 grail because of that. Just because the grind. Yeah, because the event's technically not rerun. I don't think there's a way to get it. Nope.
Yeah, it's and the next year they learn their lesson. The next year's point ladder is much more manageable. It's much more compact. Mm-hmm. Mission-based events usually are the best assist.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think because we've done some mission-based stuff lately. Like like. Gouda Gouda 3? Was it 3? Yeah, it was 3.
Yeah.
Math. That was a little harsh with the missions, but it was okay.
It was doable.
Same with Setsuban, that was really interesting and unique.
I'm
trying to think. Like, heck, even the early events that were kind of... No, wait, no, wait, I take that back. I'm still not happy about Saber Wars. Even doing the rerun, I'm still not happy about that one.
Nope.
That had a large points ladder and had a very, very picky bonus servant list. It's still not great. And some people are like, it was okay. Some people really hate it, but I will definitely be, in my account, my simple opinion is, I know, sir, I did not like it. So yeah, yes. I think that's everything that comes to mind. Oh, they posted that great image. The theoretical that Odieland is just on top of the tower. That never was confirmed, but that is still my headcanon. We just accidentally, we don't even notice it, but it's like Turtles all the way down. We accidentally put the amusement park on top of the castle.
It's like some Bahamut shit going on here. Alright. So, you two, Merkava Main and Blue Eyed Cigarette, thank you very much for your questions. We'll move on to Siderin, who says, hey, Studio Mega, just wanted to give a quick thanks for your guys' content. Honestly, it motivates me to start making server reviews with friends of mine on my own channel, and the motivation really did come from hearing you guys' own podcasts and real opinions all this time. So once again, thanks a whole lot, and keep up the great work you guys put out. Well, thank you, Siderin. I hope everything goes well with your own channels. If you ever have questions or comments or concerns, please put them in mailbag and we'll try to answer them the best we can. We are here to help and sass. So, next one comes from Emblem. Desires to be a maid. Maido. Dangerous. So my question this week is simple. I know how much Lucky likes Tiamat, but if she was able to join your Chaldea, would you prefer to be a welfare or available in the gacha for a limited time? If this question seems a bit odd, I apologize, but she keeps talking in my head as I'm typing this. Hope you two are having an excellent afternoon evening. So,
I will say, this is actually an interesting question, because most people probably be like, well, naturally, welfare, that's free, but...
Well, here's the other thing on this. Like, Dragon Mama Lover Lucky, yes, wants free, but Business Lucky Model says no, she needs to be unlimited. Like, goddamn, if they came out with, like I said, with Alter Ego, SSR Limited, Tiamat, people would literally fucking break their wallets.
No, that would be a big seller. And also, just from a mechanical standpoint, while there are some very good SRs, there are quite a lot of them, and quite frankly, there are some SRs who you can sub for SSRs, especially with Grails, right? Mm-hmm. And we've all talked about, servants are good, whatever. But, generally, SSRs usually have more room to have crazy skills, especially if they are limited. Honestly, I think they like to pilot weird skills in limited servants, because even if those are busted or weird, they can always just know that when they make reruns, right?
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, as much as I would like for free, I also want Tiamat to hit like a goddamn truck.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And also, while welfares do have free NP5s, they do tend to have lower. They're still SRs, so they tend to have lower stat pools. So, like, I kind of think I agree with Lucky. One, because it makes good business sense, and two, just I think making her a limited SSR would let them have more creative freedom to and more business justification, right? It's no, we're making a unit that is a commodity, right? We want people to be interested in Tiamat. We'll do her right, as opposed to, oh well, it's a welfare. So what? Welfares, especially new ones, feel like they are okay. What niche do we need to hit, right? Like I'm trying to think, Kagetora, for instance, Lancer of 8 Flowers. She's an arts lancer, and there's a lot of work into making her really good in that slot, right? Especially after Summer's Kahawk, future AoE assassin welfare Gray is like, oh no, Gray is really tuned to be good at wave clearing as an assassin. Like they've done a lot of work with her, and even because her NP is Rongo, they've even rejiggered what Rongo does to make it work better for her, right? So, as much as free is cool, one, a lot of welfares can be hit or miss, and two, welfares feel like they're made to fill a niche, right? Mm-hmm. So I would much prefer them to have the freedom to do her as an SSR Unlimited.
Yeah, actually, now I think about it, they usually make welfares to try and definitely fulfill roles. Even though we got a lot of writer welfares. Jesus.
Some of it's just like early on, I think it really was just, it was just like, oh well, I guess it kind of makes sense that Liz can be a caster. She's got territory creation and it's Halloween themed, but then they didn't really build her like a quote unquote good caster, right? Whereas Santa Alter Rider is just like, well, I guess she's got a Slay, she's got a Rider. Her kit is exactly identical to her as a Saber, so whatever. Basically, I know she's got one skill difference, but you know what I mean. It's not significantly different enough, and her NP is literally the same. This was back when welfares were seasonal welfares were just the same server with the same NP, just slightly different themes. It wasn't until the only welfares I think who were really good for a while were collab ones. Like Nobu has a really well put together kit. Shiki is still a good assassin to this day, even then they buffed her. But yeah, welfares are definitely seem a little bit more niche-y and like really styling.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Lucky's daydreaming about Dragon Mom.
Like, I'm honestly, the thing they should do is they should just do like they've done with a lot of fucking Lost Belt stuff, and they should make her story locked to Babylonia, but make her available for like a big banner or something.
I'm hoping so. Again, I keep hoping that giant affection presence in the Void Sea is Dragon Mom.
That would make sense. Mm-hmm. And like as we've established, Nasu loves to fucking huck that football and then just wait for it to come down.
Yeah.
That would totally be the thing that in Lost Belt 7, Tiamat, like, pops out to eat Daybit, just like, nom, and be like, I was here the whole time. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. And then we'd be sitting here back like, no, I kind of figured when you called that out way back in Lost Belt 2, I kind of figured that one. Thanks, Nasu. Mm-hmm. And Nasu's interesting because he doesn't seem like he's necessarily about the Gotham type twists, right? Like, occasionally there are Gotham type twists, but he will totally throw those balls out and let you catch them and figure it out for yourself,
Oh, yeah. Let's see. So, Emblem, who desires to be a maid? Thank you very much for your question. We move on to a hunter in search of a path. So, they say, doing a bit of research, I guess, and I came across an interesting fact that during the making of the original FSN, VN, that Suchi was going to have a route of sorts. One of which him and Emiya team up together in the Fate route, and that over time the player would get to see that despite being a shitty person, Shinji has a good side with some merits. Excuse me. So I ask you and Omega, if anything got a remake with new routes, who would you like to see to be the focal point of one and why? So, honestly, a lot of things just over there, we'll find out that a lot of things have actually been cut from Fate's Day 9.
Honestly, it's, considering, I think there was such a short time frame between Tsukihime and Fate's Day 9 coming out, there's a lot of unused concept. MASH is a reworked FSN concept.
If I remember right, there was an Ilya and Taiga route that was cut, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and honestly, that's almost a joke about early Type Moon is how many routes were cut. Like there was at least one route cut from Tsukihime, the Satsuki route, which they joke that I assume it's a joke that they joke that Melty Blood is based on, because how could it be based on something that never happened? Yeah. But yeah, Fate Stay Night was originally supposed to have Ilya and Taiga routes. And honestly, if they just did a double up, right? Like if they did the original 3 and they did 3 new ones for those characters that are big important characters, I wouldn't mind. I don't know what the focus would be. I'd have to look at the notes.
Honestly, like I wouldn't mind like adding new routes, but Lucky's always a fan of the golden endings. Like,
well, that's the. I think that's the interesting thing about Fate Stay Night is that each route has its golden ending, but they are not timeline wise. They are not. You can't. You can't do. That's Hollow Ataraxia basically is what I'm getting at. Is that you can't actually have an actual golden route because the events that set up those things literally can't happen simultaneously.
Mm-hmm. But man, we have an exception to this rule. In Fate Extella.
Well, Fate Extella, we got to slide timelines and stuff, kind of.
Yeah.
And boy, the thing we did to do that also hurt a lot.
Yeah. But like again, that's one of those things that I always want because Shiro as our protagonist. Basically, I would like a Golden Shiro route where because we're actually talking about this. I think it'd be wild if Carrie had actually like stored away his fucking magic crest, and Shiro through whatever like time shenanigans or whatever has to find and use it, and he's like, no, I will actually legitimately save fucking everybody by being a weird ass badass mage. Again, this is
time sliding.
Yeah, I was thinking because as I said, Carrie's crest is fucking weird.
He does, time alter magic is really interesting.
Mm-hmm. So with him having future selves and fucking karmic bonds with a whole bunch of shit, I'm pretty sure Shiro could do some weird synchronization of like all his timelines into one memory, be all like, ah. But again, this is like Lucky fully understands that this is a really far-fetched idea, but it's still one of those things of like, yeah, no, I like it.
Interesting. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing
it's a golden route that literally would have to be done after every single other route is done. It's like
right. They would have to do the Extella thing, which is because Extella is very weird. If you haven't played it, you should. But it does it does basically the Fate Stay Night thing where you mandatorily start. Actually, do you even have to? Can you do them in any order?
I don't know.
No, I think you have to unlock them. I don't remember. Extella came out a long time ago. But you start them in a sequence. Yeah, okay, you have to unlock. So you start them in a sequence, you do them in order, and then after you've done all 3, you can go back and do the golden one, which is kind of the Nero one at first, but also you time shenanigans yourself. It's great. It's very interesting. Because they are... Yeah, it's Blazing Poem, which a lot of people talk about how much that chills Nero, but also it's very sad. Then whatever Tamamo's one is called that I don't remember. Which is, as much as Tamamo's kind of an asshole in it, is also very neutral in it. Mm-hmm. Then there's Altera's route, which sucks. It hurts a lot. Not like it sucks and like it's badly written, but just like it sucks for you. You die a lot.
It hurts.
But because of some, like, this is what I talk about, like, you have to do some stuff that's very painful to get that off, but because you completed the 3rd, you can actually, and multiple timelines in the Quantum Time Lock is a big deal in the themes of Extella, that you're actually able to teleport back in time your stuff, your knowledge, and give that to another person, and then be like, cool, swag. It literally starts with you going, hold on, Archimedes is talking to me. Wait a second. Wait a minute. And then he's like, how the fuck do you know all this? And I'd be like, time, bitch. Space-time. Time, space. Time coin. And then we solve some stuff.
Yeah, Saber...
Yeah, and Saber Venus is from the... Is it Golden Dawn? Golden Rose? Something like that. I feel like it was literally called Golden.
It was Golden something, but yes. Saber Venus Alter Ego win.
That would be another good one. Mm-hmm. Also could just be a Saber, but you've already done 2 Saber Neros, so I don't know. Yeah.
But,
yeah, Flame Poem. Orchid Words, that was the one I was looking for. Dawn and then Golden Poem.
Yeah, like, Lucky would, like, definitely, like, as I've never played the original FSN. I haven't, so I can't feel it, but...
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I think our first real priority is can we get a fucking localization over here?
Yeah, because, like, there's always characters, like, Fate Stay Night actually has a pretty solid cast of characters in it, and, like, Shiro's schoolmates, like Shiro's part-time job, temple, and you get a little bit of explanation. Like watch today's menu at Amiya Family. You get to see a little bit more of them and how they do. Like fucking Shiro works part-time at a fucking bar called Copenhagen, and and I don't think that really comes up in the anime or Unlimited Blade Works.
I don't think in either anime version it comes up because it's part of his daily life filler that usually gets skipped because that's not.
Yeah, but you see it in like today's menu with Amiya Family.
Yeah, the thing I was going to say about today's menu is that I believe that the actual anime version, much like the manga has chapters that do this, but the episodes, much like they focus on a recipe, will focus on a character.
Oh yeah. So that's my answer. Like I said, I would like to double up the routes and then literally make a golden end.
But yeah, I think actually seeing Taiga or I don't know about Ilya anymore because she's been in a lot of spin-offs, but it could also be interesting, especially if that gets us more in the family building and then the actually wow, the Einsburns are shitty, terrible people who nobody fixes. Perseus, you know the answer to that question. You know the answer. You know.
Clearly, the heroine of the golden is the hair mending.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's everybody.
Yeah, it's good.
Lost correct. We just go full hollow ataraxia. There's just Medusa route, which is funnily like Medusa's side story. Which, in case you don't remember Medusa's side story from Extella, is after she does errands for Tamamo, she literally traps Tamamo under her rock and steals Hakuno. Bye, bitch. Very Medusa thing to do. You don't need to you don't need to try anything for that. That's why I joke about stealing from Hollow Ataraxia, because a lot of the Sakura scenes are also like 50% Medusa scenes. Because they're not very shy about that.
No.
That's actually literally what Medusa says in her first interlude. If you're playing a female character and you talk about pretending to date because her sisters are going to set her up with somebody, if you are playing a female character and you press the option to bring it up, which is like, okay, but I'm a girl, she's like, I don't mind. Actually, that's better. And it's just like, really now? No, the power move is like that certain artist has been going on where we hook up Rin and Medusa. Ooh. Because Fate Stay Night is also Rin's big bisexual awakening. Realizing, shit, I also like girls. Oh no.
But Logan's going to put an axe here so we can keep moving. So, a Hunter and Sons of a Path, thank you very much. I hope you found our answers interesting. And we're going to move on. So, this next one. I'm not going to talk about it, because, frankly, it's off topic. And also, Omega has not beaten the game in question.
Correct.
So, unfortunately, this is one, off topic, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But two, as I said, it features things that we can't fully explore. But it does say, how's your day going? Lucky really has to pee. So, actually, do you mind if we pause real quick?
We can take a pause. We've been going for 2.5 hours. We can take a 5
Yeah, take a break.
Intermission. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. And we'll take a piss. Okay, we back.
Lucky is immensely relieved. So, this next one comes from the person, when writing question, makes paragraphs. Oh, dear Lucky and Omega. So, I'll read this one and I'll give it the repeat, since it is a repeat, but whatever. Dear Lucky and Omega, sorry about my question last week. It was in the back of my head for so long I didn't realize how ugly it turned. Anyways, question for Lucky. How do you avoid spoilers? It's just that with Twitter and YouTube kind of not caring about what they have the habit of throwing in your face, especially Twitter, if you follow any JPN, so I was wondering, how do you do it? Good to you guys, this channel, and your future roles. From the person who's been writing questions for a paragraph. As I said, servants, you can't, like, servant revelations can't, it's like, you can't avoid those. Like, interesting enough, very rarely do JP artists, do reenactments of scenes or whatnot. Usually it's just a character, usually in some sort of alternate form of dress. That's not really necessarily a spoiler. Listen, I'm on a show where we talk about new servants all the fucking time. Yeah. New servant designs are not, in my opinion, spoilers.
Right, and I think we've said this before in our Discord. Our official spoiler policy is that if it's on a banner you can roll, it doesn't count as a spoiler because there's no way we can hold that back.
No.
And if they have profile details and stuff like that might be spoilerific, okay, you should try and keep those in spoilers.
Yeah.
But once the banner happens, the internet won't hold back. We can't hold that in. It's not possible.
No. But servant designs and fan art is one thing, but if people start going like this new servant does this in this location to someone else, that's when all like, well, now y'all just have to die.
So you have chosen death.
People have actually said that, I think, in reference to.
Yeah, that's definitely a GIF associated with Lucky at times. But I was just gonna say, there are artists who will draw comics or scenes which are influenced by stuff with certain like collections of things. But generally, if you don't have context because you can't read moon runes, well, we can't anyway. We have no idea. Like, if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah. And
usually
occasionally,
an image is not enough to spoil me. It's usually someone talking about said image.
Right, and sometimes we have pulled images that are not outright spoilers, but edge towards it because they prompt a conversation, or they are about stuff that is explicitly spoilery themed, and I'll be like, no, that counts. You're not supposed to. And sometimes I get the impression that some people don't agree that they are spoilers, but don't want to fight us, but hey, I'm the server admin, and I, me and Lucky collectively picked all the mods, so generally, and we've discussed the policy and stuff, generally they follow our lead on us, so if I think it's a spoiler, and as we talked about an hour ago, or 2 hours at this point, honestly. No, we went like 40 minutes on real content. We're only at an hour, at 2.5 hours, so 45 minutes to an hour ago. I'm in the position to know, basically, is what I'm getting at. I would know what's a spoiler, because a lot of that stuff comes out in the profiles and the leaks and the whatever. So, I know if something is not appropriate to be spoiling. And this references back to the answer to both your question and to what Lucky said is, I don't keep myself from spoilers. Like, very rarely, and FGO is not one of those things, as much as I like it, as much as we've made it the cornerstone of our business model. FGO is not a game where I'm like, I can't know anything about the story or the gameplay going in. Right, that's not one of those things.
I think this is why this works especially well with the two of us. And so
yes, you are that way about FGO. You're like, don't tell me nothing from nobody.
Yep.
If Omega tries to tell me something, I'm going to stick my hands in my ears and go, la 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 la. But also I know better, because I know that you don't want spoilers, so I can plan the show around both you and other people who are spoiler virgins and be like, let's not say that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, okay, people are going to want us to talk about brand new servants on banners, and I'm glad you share the opinion that once they're on a banner, once they're a unit that exists in the game, we can't say that they don't exist.
Yeah.
I can't pretend that not even story stuff, but like, I can't pretend that like Kyokoyo and Voyager didn't come out on a Requiem banner, and that the Requiem collab event might give a whole hell of a lot of details that aren't confirmed even in 2 volumes of Requiem, but they wrote that, so they did that themselves? Like, not even Fate knows its own spoiler rules, right?
Yeah.
So we play things by ear, and we play them a little close to the vest sometimes, but we work on it. And I have called people out for making YouTube videos that have spoilery thumbnails or titles, because they need to understand that, yes, you are correct. YouTube doesn't know what's a spoiler. It doesn't have an algorithm for that. It'll just throw shit out there that it thinks you like. So that means that the YouTube creators, I know they're after that search engine optimization, all that stuff, that SEO, all those clicks, all those views, we're after them too. But you can do that without fucking over people who aren't your audience and who you're going to... The title or thumbnail of your video is going to have a negative effect on them, and also you're not going to get viewership. And I understand, obviously, you want to be careful about spoilers, but you could, like, throw out a spoiler warning at the title, whatever. We've been over this before. I'm not gonna turn this into a whole conversation against other people. Just that after Lost Boat 5 Part 2 came out, there were several YouTube video titles I saw and recommended. I'm just like, I hope Lucky's not checking the YouTube right now.
Nope.
Let me just trim those out, because boy howdy, that's just a full blown spoiler. There's not even an attempt to hide it. It's not even marked Lost Boat 5 spoilers. It's just like, boss fight with so-and-so, and I'm just like, nope, don't talk about that.
Lucky also kind of just, as I said, Lucky doesn't really peruse the internet. Usually, if Lucky's like searching around, he's usually on a Wikipedia researching something, or like reading like manga or something. Yeah, research.
Oh yeah, Leert has a really good one. Like, we can't pretend Canis isn't summonable, but also she was in a trailer, so I was like, she's gonna be summonable. I was yelling for that for like 2 years before it happened. Like, you can't pretend that's not... One, you can't pretend that's not going to happen, but two, also, once it happened, it's not like, whatever. Hey, but am I going to talk about details in her story profile? Fuck no. She's story locked. No. That's bad. That's dumb. Wait for that story to come out.
Yeah. I guess Lucky sometimes bends his own rule. It's like, because people are talking about Arise and, from the Frame Requiem collab. I saw her MP and I went on a literal fucking lore dive and started explaining a lot of things I thought maybe about her character, which on one hand really isn't something that you can, like, I normally would consider a spoiler, but maybe some people didn't know about or didn't want to know about or want to find out about. But at the same time, I'm just like, no, this is kind of a basic servant detail that has no actual impact of what they're doing in the story, so I give it a slide. Like,
and also there were details that actually came out when the second volume of Requiem came out that have connections and concerns to theories going on, you know?
Yeah.
That I'm not going to say out loud because that would be a spoiler to actually reveal that.
Mm-hmm. But, like,
yeah, no. That's Loft. That's one of those things that's like, oh boy, I'm really glad we got the anime in English before we're gonna get that event because wow. Because we've already talked about it on this episode, but man, we case files this out. They just go straight to, oh yeah, Gray's got Rongo.
Boom.
Like, oof, FGO. It can be a spoiler. Here's the thing, Axe. I know you seem like you want very hard and fast rules on spoilers. That's one of those things that's not. There's not a hard and fast rule. And some people, you've even mentioned them, some people still feel like things are spoilers after 20 years. Like, there are gonna be people who might feel, I don't know, What's Up has smaller viewership. If I yelled that on FGO, people might, at me, as it were. Not literally, but you know what I mean. About Final Fantasy VII spoilers, which are like 20 years old. But some people don't let anything go. Bosses can be spoilers, and just, I would say, learn by doing, but in reverse, learn by what I do. Like, actually pay attention when I do, like, pre-games and stuff. Because there are some characters I will play close to the vest. And Axe isn't actually done with Lost Belt 2, but I'm pretty sure I've seen him talking about Lost Belt 2 story content, so I don't know. We've already cracked the egg on that. Oh, you did do it? Okay. Dallas is the one who's not done yet. Okay. But what I was gonna say was, wow, that's a combo platter, Loth. But when I did the pregame for Lost Belt 2, I didn't say who Searcher was. Yeah, I didn't talk about that. I was like, there is a certain storyline boss who is a Saber. I will say no more, because the presence of Searcher is a spoiler. You have been spoiled, X. That's a presence that, like, you don't know about. Actually knowing he's there is, like, a big fucking deal.
Oh, look.
And talking about YouTube. That's why you gotta be careful. And hey, guess what? Lucky and I are both talking about it. We don't go looking for those videos. This is probably why we don't have more friends who are FGO YouTubers, because we keep ourselves in this sphere and we don't go hunt for videos. So, like, with like Sigurd, I'm like, okay, he's on the fucking banner. Yeah, Sigurd's a boss fight. That's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, if you appear on a banner, that's kind of an open-ended. But guess what? Speaking of Lost Belt 5, there are a lot of, so far, story-only bosses in that game, and I'm like, oh, no, I'm not even gonna. No way. I'm not even gonna breathe about it. Like, especially because that chapter seems like it's got a lot of action going on. Once it actually gets close to dropping, we can probably get more open, because it's one of those cases where, like, once you know it's gonna happen, it's like Lucky's not a complete idiot. Lucky just forgets things sometimes, but Lucky knows things about stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm sure once Lucky gets to probably even Lost Belt 5 Part 1, but once we get to Lost Belt 5 Part 2, there will be things where you, Lucky, will be able to go, oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah.
Because that's in the moment. If I told you right now, one, you'd be spoiled, but also you probably would forget in 2 years? Yeah, 2 years. Year and a half, 2 years.
Coin flip sometimes.
Well, that's another thing. Dude, if you don't want spoilers, don't go into fucking streams. Like, I don't know what got reported or bot caught about our Lost Belt 2 stream, but I hope to God it wasn't somebody butthurt about spoilers or something, because, like, fuck, dude, it was a Lost Belt 2 stream.
I know I put spoilers in the description, but maybe I should have put it in the title.
I mean, I don't know. No, Axe, stop. Wait, what is with you people in the porn bots thing? Shut up about it. I report them to YouTube. Move on. It's not hurting anybody. Just don't click them. You don't have to click weird links. Why do people keep bringing that up? It's nothing. It's fluff. Stop it. Never mention this to me again. No. First of all, why would for porn bots it be taken down? Other than, I guess, like he's not moderating them, but there are several moderators who are in a channel. I don't know.
Remember, the porn
You figured out nothing. You haven't figured anything out. That's a weird conspiracy theory, to which Omega's like, you weird conspiracy theory, me.
Remember, Axe, the porn bot comments only came up after the stream was taken down and brought back up.
Yes, those were actual new comments, and we have some people that, we have some bots which do that to our channel videos, but we report them and we move on. We also have some probable bots who are like asking to be YouTube friends, even though that hasn't been a feature for like 10 years, but those I usually let stay just because, hey, free engagement. The thing about the Lost Bolt 2 stream being taken down is literally I have no idea. Like, YouTube literally was like, it was an automatic takedown, nothing has changed. I protested, and I was like, hey, yo, what the fuck? And then YouTube was like, after reviewing, your video's okay, it's fine. And I'm like, okay, so a computer did this both times, and I've learned nothing. Honestly, I don't laugh. I don't remember when YouTube had PMs. What the fuck question were we answering, Lucky? Spoilers on YouTube and Twitter. Right. Got it.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting this to actually go this long. This question in particular, because we already answered it.
Yeah. Well, it's because they brought up some other avenues, right? Like, we talked about you didn't go on Reddit, but specifically YouTube and stuff is just like, hey, neither of us go hunting for those videos. So
it's all about who you know and where you go.
Yeah, and honestly, that's one of those vote with your wallet things. If you're tired of YouTubers spoiling you, and like some of that's just YouTube recommended, but hey, don't sub to those people, don't click on their videos. Don't reward them for posting spoilers.
Yarr.
I know that's kind of, some people are going to be kind of weird at me for like telling them the secret sauce and like declaring a punch up, but no, literally, if you want a YouTuber to not make a video, the only thing that goes that faster is don't engage with that video at all. Like, they have all the analytics to let them know that they didn't get anything out of that, and they'll do something different. Well, and I mean, if you're looking for a boss guide, that's your own bit, but I'm just like, yeah, like, don't incentivize. This is why Lucky has a mutually assured destruction policy on spoilers. He's like, no, if you spoil me, I will destroy you. He does not incentivize. Nope. Fuck, I don't even incentivize. I know all this shit, and I'm still like, shut up. Shut yourself. Secret Service tag. Anyway. Fuck, I'm hungry. Let's keep moving.
Let's keep moving. All right, so thank you from the guy when writing questions, write paragraphs. Don't worry, when we give answers, we give fucking theses. Fuck.
Correct. I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to call this episode either. I'll make something up.
Why does everyone have the fuck? Why does everyone have the Omega giving sense, but no one has me saying like I will destroy you?
Honestly, they probably have too many. I think I don't know if I've said that in more context that. We posted another the community has posted another screen cap of Omega 2, Omega Harder, which is, don't do that, I will literally destroy you.
See, Act, that means I just have to up the fucking ante. Don't tell me those things.
Yeah, no, Lucky will start acting out to make himself be relevant again. Yes. I'm gonna post this in. He's not hurting himself. No.
Alright, but moving on. Shit, actually, now I'm gonna go look at my collection of Lucky memes. Because Lucky is totally, what's the word?
That's very self-absorbed, yeah.
Yeah, very self-absorbed, and I like collecting the memes people make of me.
I've got a few memes. Fuck, I think I've even screen capped myself. Yeah. That's a little mean to Axe, but somebody screen capped that thing Lots just said too. Axe, why do you bring misery to us? To which Axe's response is usually, I'm not trying. I'm just trying to figure out the rules to the game, guys. And it's like, sometimes, Axe, when you play Minesweeper, you just find a mine.
I don't know how they could use it wrongly, honestly, Axe. But that's a discussion for text. We're going to move on to
another time.
But, so this one I actually pre-read, and I actually thought about a little bit while wandering around between the fridge and my room as I thought about food. Okay, but this one comes from Blaze. Question. First off, hi, nice to meet you. Pleasure, handshakes all around. And hope you're doing good. Something I don't know if you've ever been intrigued in, but both as a fan of the Fate series as a whole, and Will also being in the D&D group has always led me to the curiosity of making the two together. In the past, one of my friends has tried to do and was vaguely unsuccessful with hiccups in it, so I'm wondering what you think would be an easier method of trying to do a Fate/D&D homebrew. I know this is kind of a big question, I just thought it'd be an interesting topic to get the even smallest amount of feedback on, as it's always something I wanted to try. Also, this is my first time asking questions to you two, so I hope I did my best to understand the rules, and I'm sorry if I broke any. Love the work you two do, and how fun it is to listen to you. Well, thank you, Blaze. So, Omega is the big game design guru here, but I want to put in my 2 cents before that, because honestly, as much as Omega has design games, I think I've actually played D&D more than he has.
You definitely played more D&D than me, for sure.
So,
But, like, the shortest version of Omega's answer is don't use D&D, but
actually,
there's a lot of, even for using D&D, there's a lot of discussion to be had here. I needed some time to think about this.
Well, so I thought about this. First off, don't use D&D. You don't need D&D. What you want is you actually want the Roll20 system. That's what you want. Because a lot of people think D&D and they try to, like, modify, fighter or cleric and stuff. No, literally. Toss that all out. If you want to make a genuine homebrew, like, Roll20/D&D system, what you need to do is start from the ground, which a lot of people don't want to fucking do. They just want to modify existing stuff. No, it's a lot of work. So, if you actually want to use, and you gotta remember, D&D is often based off a Roll20 system, basically different die up to a D20. What you want to do is first, you want to make the race servant. Simple as that. And, just go throughout all Noziver and pick up things that servants can do. Have a spirit form, don't need to eat, sleep, stuff like that.
And depending on what edition of D&D you're using for your core D20 rules, that's most of those things will already have mechanical constructs. You just need to find them and put them all together.
Mm-hmm. When you have basically your classes, well, guess what? They're classes now. You have a saber class, you'll have a lancer class, you'll have rider class, all that stuff. And as I said, you can assign attack bonuses, saves, and stuff accordingly. Like saber would definitely have like goodwill saves. That could be like something that was representative of magic resistance or something like that. But here's where you get to the interesting thing. In your level ups, you're going to want to do something a little bit interesting. Basically, what you're going to want to do is, I can't think of a necessarily good one, but I think it's in like Pathfinder, and I think it's even in 5th edition a little bit. When a current character hits a certain level, they usually get a list of talents they can pick for. That's what you're going to want to do. But basically, that's all the servant level ups are going to be. You're going to have basically one to let them either pick new skills, or upgrade existing skills, or pick new MPs and upgrade existing MPs. Because otherwise, you are not going to... Because here's the problem with the Roll20 system and level systems in general. They are very rigid in what they are allowed to do, so you have to give them a lot of flexibility from the beginning in order to get something a little bit more customizable. Because as fate works, one Lancer is not necessarily the same as another Lancer. And trying to bog it down with pre-existing mechanics, no. What you're going to want to do is basically almost like every level, you get to basically upgrade or pick a new skill. And maybe like every 4 levels, you get to upgrade or pick a new MP. Honestly, that is probably the best way to handle characters who have like a lot of skills or a lot of MPs or maybe a few skills and a few MPs. This just means that in creating these lists, you have to go basically make a giant fuck-off list and maybe restrict certain ones to certain classes, unless there's exceptions. Again, this is why I'm saying it's like, technically, yes, you can do it, but you have to literally start from the ground up. Honestly, like I said, it's not a D&D system anymore. It's a Roll20 system.
Because this is just a general D&D thought. As a guy playing a D&D 5e campaign right now, D&D is and always has been very specific, laser focused about what it's actually about. So
yes,
the problem most people have in general, this is even a Fate thing, the problem most people have in general is that they go, oh, well, D&D is a role-playing game, I'll just play roles in a different setting. And sometimes that works, and then sometimes you get D20 Modern, which I don't think anybody played.
I played it a little bit.
Okay, that's fair.
I said a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty, well, one, it's super dead now, but
yeah,
I don't, like, even Pathfinder didn't, when they did a different genre, didn't try and go modern. They went Starfinder and like, okay, what if Pathfinder? Let's base. Well, you could. Gosh, I don't know. Genesis is a little...
Could work, but at the same time, like I said, you gotta remember, back in the original Fate Stay Nights, Shiro got servant profiles translated as stats, and honestly, it could still work. But here's the thing, if you run a D&D campaign with servants, it either has to be all servants or no servants. That's the thing, because servants just operate on a different level than people to begin with, that you can't really compare the two. Like, shoot, even a servant with the lowest rank of strength can rip a human apart. Fuck, what's Astolfo's strength?
What was that?
Astolfo's? What's his strength? Shit, hang on.
He's his strength. Well, he's got monster strength C. It's his regular S strength. I don't know off the top of my head. Even though I did homebrew him.
Let me see here. FGO. Actually, I could be wrong. Where is your stats?
D.
Yeah, strength D, and this guy can literally just, without thinking about it, just rip chains apart.
Now, like I said, he does have monster strength C-, so
yeah,
there's some like skill application to that, but yeah, no, it's the I believe what you're getting at is the thing to understand is that servants are not human.
Yeah.
Right? Like honestly, strength E isn't like having a minus one strength or having like a -2 strength or something, right? It's not like having the worst possible strength roll you can have. It's like having strength +0, basically. Like it's
that's honestly how you should probably like stat him. Like if you were to go with like E to A, it'd literally be like using standard D&D standard. It'd be +1 to +5. But there's a lot of characters out there who have just like strength A and whatnot.
Yeah, that's I think everybody who plays Fate, especially in Fate Stay Night, but even now, Fate is heavily influenced by tabletop RPG tropes.
Yes.
It literally has D&D alignments, right? And some of that is just how Shiro sees things, but that's how even though that's technically supposed to be just how Shiro interprets things, that's how Fate has always been interpreted, so Nasu just kind of ran with that as the official version, I guess. Everybody, I think, who sees Fate, who knows about tabletop games, is like, how would I tabletop this? A lot of people go, how would I D&D this? Because D&D is the 800-pound gorilla of brand identity in tabletop games. No shame in that, just they are. And a lot of people have, quite frankly, bad experiences trying to shoehorn D&D to do things D&D's not supposed to do. And if you think, like if you're thinking right now, gosh, Lucky, that's not very balanced. All servants have, like, at least +1? No, it's not balanced as far as D&D goes, but if you build your game that way, it could be balanced, because, yes, servants are fucking strong. Like, I think, does Medusa have, like, strength E or something? Probably not, because she's got a super high monstrous strength. Actually, another good example, Maeve. Maeve's got a strength of E as a rider. I'm pretty sure she can still, like, throw a car if she feels like it.
That's an image.
Like, no, like, servants are inherently stronger and faster. Like, Nasu's really struggled with the question of can bullets hurt a servant, because on the one hand it's like, oh, no puny mortal weapon could possibly, like, bother. Like, technically, servants should take no damage or half damage from any weapon that's not magical.
Yes.
Like, if you're being literal. So, yeah, it's a whole thing, and some people have probably done this whole thing quite well, but if you want to make things more Fate-like, you could probably relax some of those things, like you said, but in general, no, if you want to, that's what I had to do. It wasn't with Fate, but I had to take a system's raw mechanics and I had to retranslate them to fit Fate and emulate stuff I like, and I generally have I've gotten good responses from players with a couple of caveats about playtesting.
Mm-hmm.
But that was still a lot of man hours of work, testing and writing it.
So, I will say, it can be done in the Roll20/D&D system. It can be. But it will require, as Omega said, a lot of man hours and a lot of balancing and a lot of thought. I don't know if you want to fully commit to that, but there are also other systems that you can do it and it would be easier. Lucky is quite fond of the one-roll engine, like with Wild Talents. Wild Talents you could definitely use Wild Talents for that. It's very flexible. Yeah. Yes. Wild Talents is super flexible. It's literally a super game where you can custom build any power you want by the rules they have. And have stats for, human levels of strength and superhuman levels of strength. Super good, super light. We ran our Omega ran his meta-human renaissance through it, and I played a bit of it, and I really enjoyed the system. Whenever I get my Torchlight game off the ground, we'll be using Nemesis, which is the spooky, scary version of the one-roll engine. Yeah, and the only reason why I haven't is because if you do one-roll engine, I will warn you, you're gonna have hard caps. Because that's how Wild Talents works things. Like, you will know exactly how far Excalibur goes if you build in Wild Talents. And you will have to adjust it if you want it to do different stuff. Wild Talents does have things that let you break caps, but that's also additional point expenditure. Right, yeah. Like, you can work it all out, and it will be... And, like, obviously, it's still very fluffy. Like, okay, if you have a movement power, you can move so many feet or yards or whatever in one action turn, but that's still all theater of the mind. Like, it's not a grid system. It's just letting you conceptualize how fucking fast you are. Or how far you can throw laser beams or whatever. Yes.
but it's definitely the kind of thing that would be like, gonna warn you that unless you build certain ways, if you're not experienced with the system, you will run into limitations where you will suddenly realize, oh yeah, technically the way this works, my Excalibur blast literally stops at 1 mile. Whoops. Oh well, I'll just fucking dead-ass sprint over there until he's within a mile. Problem solved. But yeah, and also Wild Talents is a great system. I'd love to... Ooh, gosh, can I take some of these losers along the ride with me for Wild Talents? That would be weird. I'd have to get a handle on everybody.
I would love to do more Wild Talents.
I know you would. You'd be a good pick. Martha probably be pretty good too. I'm just thinking back to Wild Talents has optimizations concerns.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm remembering like I didn't hate Ron's character or the fact that he designed Kiana's character, but it was definitely like, okay, you knew it. You dove into the math head first and built a really efficient system that does a lot of really efficient stuff. That's okay. Narratively, there are a lot of concerns with his fucking auto-fire, disintegrating, burning ghost punches. Which is, he played a kung fu monk who was possessed by a demon, so his default attacks had, like, the extras, like, complete, like, penetrating, or non-physical, I think was the bonus, non-physical, disintegrating blast, etc. So, yeah, if he punched you, all the damage would go to your head and your whole body would explode, basically. Which, narratively, when you guys were street-regulated vigilantes in a big city, very quickly, all the player characters, I think this was even before Lucky got on board, all the player characters realized, oh yeah, we shouldn't just disintegrate everybody. That's bad for our image and bad for collateral. Whoops. Lucky, at which point, Ron was actually a good boy and actually spent points on buying non-lethal powers, right? Like, same with Vera, because she also had... Vera was a healer who could also nega heal, which was terrifying.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, she actually spent her experience points and developed her powers to have stunning abilities, or would literally, like, I'm gonna disintegrate his arm. Okay, I'll help him grow his arm back.
I miss my hand taser.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun. And even then, you had powers that scaled up. There was escalation.
Yeah, well, it was also partly, in fact, I had Lucky did, like, what he likes to do. He usually has low branch powers, but he always has a oh fuck button.
And I think if I remember rightly, that in the scenario you got introduced, you used the oh fuck button right away. And then I was like, okay, you've blown up the villain, and you've blown up the room behind the villain, and you've also blown up all those other rooms. By the way, you guys are on a boat, so now there's a hole in the bottom of the boat, and it is sinking. What would you like to do? At that point, you were like, okay, I need to be careful about where I use this.
Well, it was also because like I said, fun fact, the Metahumans Renaissance is where I got introduced to Meg and everybody, because I was playing Warframe with Ron. He was telling about how I was in a group, and I was all like, let me in that shit, because Lucky loves playing tabletop. So he had to help me design my first character, and this was the first time actually I got into an argument with Ron. It would not be the last. But he told me how to, like, yeah, if you just add all this stuff, you can just add crazy shit. And, like, if you make 2 hard copies, you always hit the fucking head. I'm like, so I will always fucking hit someone in the head with a railgun. It's like, yeah. I was like, okay. And then I quickly found out, I was like, maybe not.
Yeah, the thing is that, oh, yeah, okay, you hit him in the head? Nope, that could be bad. No, he's gone. He's just dead. Yep. You one-shot an evil ancient Chinese sorcerer who was definitely not Lopan, and then it was just like, okay, he's dead. That's okay. I've been playing with for quite a few sessions with Ron at that point, so I'm of the school of, like, don't put a character if you don't think the PCs will railgun him.
But it was the start of the joke of Joshua fearing the whoosh.
Whoosh! Just like, nope, not gonna talk about it. Yeah. So Wild Towns is a very inherently flexible system. Some people have brought up Genesis, and I like Genesis a lot, but also very much yes. No, there's so many different ways you could do stuff like that. Multiple actions, which is a great power. Actually freezing people's perception of time. Like, what do you want super hot powers to do, buddy? My math is a little scratchy, but I'm pretty sure I could still bullshit some Wild Talents powers. I made so many NPCs. But yeah, Genesis, a lot of people talk about, that's the Star Wars system we use, and a lot of people are a little excited for Gensekai.
Like,
I like that dice system, but it basically runs in the same problems of D&D, where, like, no, you'd need to go to the base and, like, completely build your version of it, right? Like, you'd have to, Genesis is a toolkit system. You would have to literally build a Fate toolkit from the bottom up for it. And Like, you'd have to custom pick the talents to represent skills and stuff like that. You could model NPs a certain way. There is actually an optional rule, which we've never used, but we could for superhero settings where you can have super stats. Like, you could make that rule for servants. Basically, the way super stats work is, I think it's if you roll a triumph on your super stat, you get an exploding dice, you get to roll an additional new die.
Oh.
So, yeah, you can do some crazy shit, but it's the kind of thing where you gotta think about it, and you gotta actually, again, put in the man hours. Like, if you want quick and dirty shit, I don't even know.
Yeah, that's why I...
Well, yeah, it sounds swingy. Honestly, Genesis is very... If you've listened to our APs, but you haven't, how dare you, sir? Or
how dare?
Listen to them. If you want more advice on this, literally listen to all... Like, we've got a shitload of AP backlog in all kinds of systems. Dice can be very swingy, that's another thing. I have a Fate AP if you want to check that out. It's interested. If you... Like, Axe brought up, you could be lazy and do Powered by the Apocalypse. I was like, no, whoa, no. Powered by the Apocalypse is not lazy time. That's another thing where, like, literally that's a hack you have to design. Like, because Powered by the Apocalypse, very narrative, very feely, very open-ended, right? Like, there's a lot of touchy-feely stuff in those RPGs. And God, I love them.
You're still bound by your moves.
Yeah, exactly. Like, those are custom-built to emulate a certain feel. If you play Monster Hearts, you are playing, basically, Twilight. Right? Like, Monster Hearts is the RPG for everybody who saw or read Twilight and was like, I could do better than this.
What was the name of the character I made who smelled like pumpkin spice all the time? It was very creepy.
It was something. Those APs are up. The actual sessions of that we did. Interesting that you don't. I don't know. That could make sense though. Those are very social games and socially environment. You can succeed sometimes. Though I would say that's a very Axe thing to be like, I can't actually outright succeed. Because Powered by the Apocalypse is a system which might not be very Fate to you, is also way about failing forward.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Like it's a 2d6 plus system, so that means that 7 is your most average number, and 7 is what's called a partial hit, so it's success with a complication.
Mm-hmm.
And that really drives the story forward. And then half, just 6 and under, outright failure. You don't succeed what you want, and something happens. It's really interesting.
Like about Powered by the Apocalypse, when the partial success is you usually get isn't it usually the player who gets to pick the bad thing that happens? Yes,
usually you have a choice. It's a player-facing choice. Like, yeah, some of them are written like there's a universal one I think for like Act Under Fire, which is like the MC will offer you a tough choice, a hard bargain, etc. But usually it's phrased as like, okay, so if you've gotten a full hit, you get to pick 3, but now you only get to pick 1, and some of those 3 will be something like it's fast, it's quiet, nobody gets hurt. So if you can pick all 3, cool. If you only get to pick 1, ooh. Pick between fast, quiet, and nobody gets hurt. Ooh.
Man, this is why I love our Urban Shadows game.
Yeah, Urban Shadows was good. I have great love for Urban Shadows and for, you only played a little bit with me, but I've run a decent amount of Apocalypse World. It's spicy. We should also check out Masks, which is the Young Justice version of Powered by the Apocalypse. It's like young superhero stuff. It's a lot of really interesting stuff. I've also run a decent amount of Monster Hearts. Monster Hearts is okay. I need to try the 2nd edition, because I think it fixes some stuff. Also, yeah, but I don't think I actually said it, but I was going to say, this is another of those things we turn into a thesis on. Like I said, I'm familiar with a broad range of a lot of games, but usually as a game master. I think the overall advice, because my stomach's starting to growl, the overall advice on this question is, if you want to do it good, you got to be willing to put in the work. No matter what you do, there is no official Fate-based AP. There are some weeb-ass RPGs out there, some of which are Japanese and some of which are not. But ultimately, you're gonna have to put in the work. Like, you can make D&D work, you gotta be willing to take a chance. Well, usually, that's why you have to have an MC who picks good moves, because that's all that happens when you fail, is the MC picks a move. And honestly, there have been times when people have been on a roll failing, and as the MC, I'm just like, guys, I need you to succeed a roll. I can't do all these moves. I can only foreshadow the distant future so much. But moves are usually very specific, so if there's no specific stuff, you can just go out. Well, that's why you have different moves where not only bad stuff happens to the players.
And honestly, Axe, I think it's more boring when only good stuff happens.
Well, yeah, that's the thing I was going to talk about, where Axe is like, I don't like all that failure. I'm like, no, that sounds like an Axe thing. Axe, as a player, you definitely feel like when you pick up dice and roll, if you don't succeed, you've wasted somebody's time, or something bad has happened. When that is, usually good games are set up where that doesn't always happen, right? Where, like, if you're picking up the dice, it's very clearly defined that certain things can happen or might be qualified. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the point I was making was that no matter what you pick, you're gonna have to put in man hours, and you're gonna have to work it out. Also, it really sounds like I actually just had a bad experience with Power by the Apocalypse. If you listen to Monster Hearts AP, check that out sometimes.
Man, honestly, I kind of like, speaking about the Monster Hunter AP, I love our Urban Shadows, but I feel like I could have, what was her fucking name? She was creepy. I potentially made her try to make a villain character, and she was kind of villainous, but I was also kind of weird.
That's usually how it goes with Monster Hearts. It's hard to be out, especially because you, as a player character, you're much more prone to failure than the actual big antagonists. Yeah. So it's like, there's definitely some stuff. I could pull up where's my playlist collection? Playlists. I could pull up the AP. I think that's still probably one of the title ones, because that was pretty early in our AP cycle. Actual play, yeah, I think it's number 1. So I will actually check out the.
I know her name was on fucking theme. Oh, it was October, wasn't it?
Yeah, it sounds about right. Hold on, let me check them. Do I actually list the player characters? Yes, you are October.
October, the little.
You played a Fae.
A non-binary Fae who was very creeper and always asked, "Do you want to make a promise?"
Yeah, like you weren't subtle about it.
Anyway, so let me pull this back up. Excuse me. So, Blaze, thank you for your question. I know it was a bit longer than I was expecting, but game design is something that both me and Omega know, with different facets and whatnot. But I hope you got something. And I said, if you have any more questions about it, please feel free to ask. I said, game design is something.
Again, to show for What's Up, we will literally spend hours talking about this kind of shit on What's Up all the time.
Oh yeah, expect. We'll probably bring up some Shinsekai tomorrow too. Probably. I got questions. Anyways, but yeah, thank you, Blaze. Thank you. So moving on to Lize of Kalon for pronunciation. I recommend using a Liza Kale on YouTube and watch the top videos. I looked real quick. Apparently, it's a Guardians of Ga'Hoole thing, but I didn't actually get to listen. But they asked, among the 3-star servants we have so far, how would you envision a 5-star form of that servant at full potential power? Would they change classes or stay the same? Would there be some sort of alter or just a different point of their life? Let's see here. Compared to what we have now. Would they possess the same special gimmick? Blah, 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 blah. For example, my idea, it's one of these questions.
Correct.
For example, my idea would be to take Lubu and take him a 5-star rider or lancer by pairing him with Raybear, combine their powers explained to Hassan Loba and the Skander, whose horse, if I recall, is strong enough to be its own servant, or was that his soldiers? I'm pretty sure it's
the Buse is a heroic spirit, yes. Bucephalus. At the very least, he's a noble phantasm tier horse.
Yeah. So, yes, this is one of those questions where I'm not so sure that they want our answer, but want to talk about their
I mean, they probably want our answers, too. That's the problem with these people, is they love the speculation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kidding. But, yes, this is... We talked about this, I think, last week when talking about the kinds of questions we get.
Yeah. So Lubu is definitely one. Like, Lubu, I guess, I do kind of... They kind of get lowballed by. But let's see, other 3 stars.
I don't know if he'd be a 3-star, but you could easily do Saber Ku because he's got a special sword, and he could actually be 4 or 5 stars. Not that Ku needs a buff or anything, but it's possible.
Possible. Lucky's trying to go through his mental 3-star list here at the moment.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of 3 stars. Like Avenger Boudica could be gold.
Yeah.
And she could actually kill people with her chariot. That's the thing that's brought up, is that as a rider, her chariot is more defensive-minded. It's about the stuff she wants to protect rather than what she wants to destroy.
She can have the sword of unpromised victory.
While you were reading the question, there was a 3-star I thought of, and I fucking lost it. Who was it? Because there was a really good example.
Let's see. Lucky is literally looking at the list of 3 stars at the moment. Oh! I got one. Give me a fucking... Well, no, I guess... Technically, Assassin... Ushiwakamaru counts, but fuck, I would love to
5-star Saber Ushi.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That would not be Ushi. That would be
that'd be Yoshitsune. Yeah. Let's see here.
You could do King David as probably a ruler or something.
Mm-hmm.
As a higher rarity tier. Let's see. Who else we got here? Yeah, honestly, I think that's most of it. I mean, like Darius could be a rider too. That's a pretty obvious one. Honestly, Geronimo could probably be like a fucking archer or something, or a berserker. That would be an interesting multi-kit to do some on. I think that's most of them. I guess the other one would be like, I think even Caesar mentioned he could be a writer. Probably he was a general who led a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or even another alternate. But Caesar could probably be. Julius Caesar has enough myths and shit about him. He could probably be a pretty higher tier. We've already gotten higher tier Medusas. That's Gorgon. She's gold.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these guys are alternate versions already, like or have alternates. No, I think that's it. I think that's most of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So top of my list, probably Ishiwakamaru. Give me Yoshitsune.
I think that's top on a lot of people's list.
So
would Saber Yoshitsune be more or less naked?
No, they have to do the Raiko thing of full body tights. Join the team. I'm just thinking about Kintoki's. This is like, do all women of this family dress like this? It's like, good time, good energy. So let's say, Kelon, thank you very much for your question. We're gonna move on to Sorian Rikatsu, who has a two-parter. Has Nasu confirmed the actual requirements for reaching the Akashic Records, aka the root. This is the part where Lucky looks at Omega.
I don't fucking know. I don't. Strictly speaking, no. I think if there was a hard and fast rule, more people would do it.
Yeah. And question 2, if you could create a requirement for a piece to reach the root, what would it be?
Not
Easy.
be an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't want any assholes touching my root of all cosmic knowledge.
Yeah. Has to be someone of, pure of hearts and strong of will or something,
Or if they're just laid back. Like, Void Shiki's plugged into the root, but she's pretty chill, so it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think every different mage family is searching for their own different method to reach the root. So there are a couple characters who I believe have canonically reached it, but I don't remember what their exact methods are, or even if they've been explained. Nasu is not always the best about actually explaining his universe mechanics.
Yeah. Well, as I said, also you have to remember, the Counterforce does not want you touching the root for reasons.
No, because you'll probably fuck it up. You'll ruin it.
Yeah.
One little person tried to bad touch the root and ruined it for everybody, and the Counterforce like, no.
Yep. Never again. No. Elias just smack down. But yeah, honestly, Lucky would usually said something assholes like, don't be a human, or don't be alive. But no, I guess someone who is, good in heart, or at least someone who harbors no ill intentions, at the very least. But, Sorian Rikatsu, thank you very much. We're going to move on to Shion. Oh, Jesus. We still have a fuck ton of these, actually, I'm looking at. How much time have we been going?
We've been going for almost 3.5. We might have to call it just for the sake of calling it, because holy shit. Are there any really good ones in here? Let's do some editing.
Yeah, let's do some editing. I'm sorry.
There's a couple of people who just give us shout-outs and thanks. We appreciate that, but I don't know.
Well, I'm going to give for the people who give shit-outs, I want to read out because they're quick. So, Alias Shion, they say, hi, Lucky and Meg. I've been going through your backlog episode, and I say it's a great joy to hear you guys talk. You two have helped me through some of my low points in my life, and I just want to say, keep up the amazing work. Well, thank you, Shion, for listening. If you ever had any troubles, feel free to talk about them. We'll give advice. Lucky's good at grading advice. I am.
Somebody's posted a typo there, so I don't think I can answer that question unless they clarify.
Yeah, we're going to skip that one.
We already answered this one question.
Yeah, about the alias, I wish I got a Musashi plushie. Yes, we did order stuff. Mine has not arrived. Omega has.
Yeah, I literally talked about it. I got the art book.
Mm-hmm.
The one about the rank up skill, that's probably a long one. I don't even know the answer to that off the top of my head because they buffed Mordred.
We got one from alias Ren Thigh High Five Skydive. I just like that name. Saying, hey, love the content. Question is, what's the most cultural reason to make you pull for a servant? Upcoming summer images games. I just love how she says, Master good, thanks again. Most cultural reason, you fucking love them. That's why.
I'm contemplating. I see in my third eye thighs, butts, boobs, midriff. Yes.
The flesh, the curve,
the culture.
Hang on. I need to post it. I don't run a time limit, but I must.
Well, we're not on a time limit. It's just that I'm gonna. At some point, my stomach will literally become audible. Then we'll have to stop.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah. The dog is just like, yeah. In reality, that dog has no idea what the fuck is going on, but it works with the captions.
Okay. I'm gonna skip this one. Sorry, but this one's pretty quick. This one is from Alias, the guy who exists, recovering from punishment. Hey, look, you make it. Just a quick question. If you could choose another U.S. president to be made into a servant, who would you choose? Not asking for kits or anything, just who would you want? P.S. Don't bother to put this part in, but I finally managed to get Kitoki to level 90. He's my first level 90 servant. You fool. You think I wouldn't put it in?
Okay, guys, for future reference, don't tell Lucky not to read something. He will read out the part where you said, don't read this part. Also, George Washington.
No, Lucky is 100% on George Washington as well.
10 stories tall and made of radiation. He'll kick you apart. And just Google that if you don't know what that's from. It's great.
We're gonna skip the Magecraft question because that's another topic.
That's really complex and long, and nobody's voted for that Teach Me Omega Sensei yet.
Yeah. Skip that one.
I mean, if people want sound clips, we can do it. Sure. Honestly, I'm just waiting for. I know that people do this for other YouTube channels. I'm waiting for our fans to get savvy enough, or for us to get enough that people start making fan-made supercuts. Probably of us fucking up words. Like there, that would go in the supercut of me mentioning it and fucking it up.
Honestly, looking at all the ones, I think that's probably it. God, I didn't think we'd be taking this long. Last week we didn't take this long.
No, we had a lot of really good questions that were short and to the point that we could expand upon. I'm trying to think. I'm looking at some of these future questions. Most of these are open-ended, but they're not usually in the way up. Yeah. Like one of these asked us about leveling up servants. I'm trying to think. Do you know off the top of your head how fast that was?
I don't. Well, because there's been plenty of times when Lucky's gotten a servant and is like, I'm leveling right now.
Yeah, I would say, well, read the question and we can comment on this, because I think we can actually say this in short.
Okay. So this one comes from Human-Sized Foe Plushie with question. Hello, Lucky and Omega. With a good portion of FGO players' base giving focus to leveling servants, I was wondering the following. What was the quickest you have ever leveled up one of your servants? What level was it? And if this question escapes you both, perhaps just hearing about what servants you leveled up over this anniversary. I said Lucky has often, sometimes but not always, like when I get welfares, those usually get leveled up pretty quick. Yeah. Limited SSRs on like events, those get leveled up pretty quick. Hecking, like, but on this anniversary, I only leveled like Helena because she was the only one I didn't have leveled for Summer 2.
So usually the way this works is I can't remember a specific servant, though I can tell you an example of it. But I do this a lot. Is if it's a good EXP daily and I get a brand new servant, I'll level him right away. I did this with Sigurd. I literally rolled him. It was Saber Day. I went apeshit and it worked. Like that's my moves. Mm-hmm. Like if it's really good, and if they're new and I like them, I'll go right away. I'm not one of those lunatics who like stockpiles a million EXPs just because even though I talked about how there were some class dailies where I didn't really have anybody good to level, I've never had a situation where I don't have any servants I want to level. You know, it's just a matter of prioritizing. So I don't usually stockpile EXPs, but yeah. Welfares are definitely a thing of like, okay, I want to get those leveled up, but sometimes that tapers off, you know. Okay. But the rest of that, I don't think any of these other questions jump out at me.
Yeah, again, apologize, guys. I thought we would be able to get through all of them, but you guys make us want to talk. Your question may be a paragraph, but your answer will be a thesis. That's good. I'm going to write that down.
And honestly, and some of it's also just like, we try not to be snippy about it, but there are definitely questions where it's just like, okay, well, that's cool, but we don't have an answer. Whew. Sorry, I'm sleepy.
You're sleepy. And hungry.
I'm sleepy because I'm hungry, clearly. Actually, no, that's actually what happens to me. If I go too long without meals, I get sleepy. I'm a calorie-fueled machine. But yeah, I think that's everything on the show list if we're gonna wrap that up. It's another big, long one. I'll have to come up with a catchy title. I don't know what it is. Probably something involving reruns. Rerun. Who knows? Sorry, somebody just out of nowhere, posted a picture of a Chimera Cub, and I'm bamboozled right now.
Where is this picture?
Games. I'm assuming this is some kind of source book that's talking about, like, fucking animal companions, because there's baby owlbear pictures appearing too now, but I'm just slammed. Oh, Robin. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's long. Well, how long has this been going on? This has been going on for 3.5 hours. We stopped having a real show at 40 minutes. Oh, yeah. Well, since you brought it up in chat, we can mention that there's apparently a Skahawk manga coming out. That's cool. So we mentioned that one. It's also not directly related, but there is a probably semi-infamous, famous Fate FGO or Fate fan game called Empire of Dirt. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. They're actually working towards a release date, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it has some interesting designs. They have a Chinese saber lady who has lots of dragon themes, and I'm like, I like this art. I appreciate this character design. And they've got some fun stuff, but I saw that people talk about that, but that's not a real newsy topic. But yeah, I think we are wrapping up the Under show. Mm-hmm. Well, that's okay, Robin. Now that you're awake, you can listen to all 3.5 hours of it. That's okay. It's gonna be short editing. But let's go ahead and Lucky, you ready to put the nail in mailbag? We're done with that for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. It's your segment. So we will move on from mailbag to the end. So next week we will definitely have things to talk about because that Studio BB stream video, whatever's happening, will come out. So there'll be new news on that front. We'll actually have whatever details on whatever shim-shammery they're doing for the Ooku rerun. We'll at least know when it ends, so we can probably predict when the anniversary stuff will happen. And who knows, maybe they'll announce an anniversary stream. And we'll keep our ear to the ground on NA stuff, though I would say do not expect Summer 3 before August 1st. They will, because even though it's a rerun, there's still two parts of this and 2 banners. They probably will try and give us some breathing room, you know? And then the other thing is, maybe next week, but maybe not. I'll have to see what the timeline is like, because we got a couple weeks left in the month. But what is the Wandering Sea won the Teach Omega Sensei poll, since we talked about that a little bit. So keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. And like we said a lot of times through this episode, if you like a lot of our more non-fate-focused discussion-y stuff, tune into What's Up. We talk about a lot of broad topics. Sometimes we talk about heavy real-life shit, but just as often, we will... Last episode was so funny, because it was like, I talked about an original setting I was making for an RPG game, mm-hmm. And I brought it up for like a limited time, but then I was kind of wrapped up. But people, Lucky included, but also people in the chat, just kept bringing it back up, and we really stretched that one out.
Oh yeah, I started making a character because I'm like, I'm gonna just do this now, and so I kept asking questions like, "Hey, Omega, how was it?" He's like, "Blah blah blah," and then like other people in the chat would also ask about it, and it was just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that happens a lot. So tune into that. That will be the live recording, and the audio will be tomorrow when this goes up. It'll be the same day if it's live on YouTube. Depending on how long the episode is, expect it to show up a day or two later. Because unfortunately, Patreon has let us off some chains, so... last week we also went completely apeshit. I think the raw audio was like 4 hours long. I think it edited it down to like 3.5, 320, something like that. It's crazy. Okay, so there's that. So that means I should do the outro bit. We've been talking too much. I'm thirsty too. I'm doing all the things. The only reason why I don't have to pee is because we literally took an intermission doing this. But I'll let Lucky get back to his stuff. I'll get back to my stuff, and I'll let y'all get back to your stuff. And I'll let you know that, hey, if you're watching this episode on YouTube and you liked it, be sure to give it a like. Or a dislike, I don't care. Whatever suits you. Whatever floats your boat. Favorite phrase. If you have any comments, leave in the comment section down below. Or you can join us on our Discord. That link, as always, is in the video description and on our channel page. The video description actually is quite handy. In addition to links to our Discord, it's also got links to our Patreon. We'll talk a little more about that later. And has links to our merch store. Buy merch. Buy Tyranny Rabbit. He is your friend. Obey the Tyranny Rabbit. This is where I'd make hypnotoad noises, but I'm actually really hungry, so we'll just move on from the joke. And remind everybody that, hey, even if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you can always get our latest videos, like LTFGO, like What's Up that we talked about, like some Wanted Summer action that'll happen as soon as they announce those banners, stuff like that. And of course, even if you're already subscribed, considering the bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video. Like if I post a rando news desk or something when it's urgent and there's news. Or when we stream. Streaming's important, kids. And who knows, Lucky might stream more Ghost of Tsushima, or he might go back to streaming FGO next week. I will probably go back to streaming children's card games unless I go crazy and I'm like, fire, I'll just stream Final Fantasy VII. Who cares? Who cares about stuff?
I'll probably put it up to a vote next week. Because I'm going to be playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Fair enough.
So I won't be in the same play file, but we'll see.
And so, notifications really helps you with that, and it's cool. And I think I've checked the stats. Only about 20% of people who are subbed have notifications on. So, consider joining that notification squad. And, as we mentioned earlier at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You get access to this episode in audio format, downloadable for as little as $1 a month. And that's retroactive, by the way. That's our entire back catalog of audio episodes. As long as you've been doing audio, we've been uploading them to Patreon for patrons for as little as $1 a month. At higher tiers, you can get to vote in Teach Omega Sensei polls, you get early access to videos, like Wanted, and you can get to listen to the show live and get on-air shoutouts, all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool, and it really supports us. But also, dealing with all those ads that YouTube put in here supported us too. So, hey, good job, you. If you made it to the outro, golf clap. Mm-hmm. Especially after this episode. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit, dude. Anyway, that's the outro. We will see you next week for more Let's Talk FGO, and we will see you later this week for What's Up and many more. And also, once again, I would like to remind you that if you don't watch the APs, you will make a lucky cry. You don't want to make your lucky cry.